Hello, welcome. This is Ryan of Happy Healthy Vegan. Let me know down there in the live chat if you guys can see and hear everything okay. Everything tested out before I came on, but just want to double check. Happy Healthy Vegan. Let me know down there in the live chat if you guys can see and hear everything okay. Everything tested out before I came on, but just want to double check. All right, I had a little audio issue right there. Yeah, let me know everything is sounding and looking and everything's okay for you guys. And we will proceed. But yeah, if you're new to these live streams, as the title implies, this is the place where vegans and people who are interested in veganism come in a safe space and ask questions, and we'll try our best to get you answers. And if you are non-vegan or even anti-vegan and really think you have some great response for why we should all just quit being vegan, if you have some great argument, a fact-based, evidence-based, logic-based argument, we'd love to hear it and we'll respond to it. Thanks, Dan, for letting me know everything is working out good on your guys' end there. But yeah, let's see. Let me make sure. I think I can roll. I have one little tiny technical issue, but I think I can live with it. There is an echo, huh? Crud. Let me see if there's anything I can do about that. Let me know if anyone... Echo, really? Crud. Okay. Let me check something. Let me see if there's anything I can do about that. Let me know if anyone... Echo, really? Crud. Okay. Let me check something. Okay, crap. Echo. Damn it. Let me know if anyone... Echo, really? Crud. Okay. Let me check something. Okay. All right, let me... Echo. Damn it. Let me try this. Let's see. All right, let me. Damn it. Let me try this. Let me see if you guys hear an echo still, and if not, damn, I'm not sure how to troubleshoot this one. Let me see if you guys hear an echo still. Yeah, I'm not seeing it here. Let me know. I wish I could hear what's going on. Actually, I'm gonna take a quick listen on here. 1 second, guys. Sorry about this. Yeah, I'm not seeing it here. Let me know. I wish I could hear what's going on. Actually, I'm going to take a quick listen on here. 1 second, guys. Sorry about this. 1 second, guys. Sorry about this. Yeah, I'm not seeing it here. Let me know. I wish I could okay. I'm going to take a quick listen on here. 1 second, guys. Sorry about this. 1 second, crap. Guys. Sorry about this. I think I have a vague idea of how this could be happening. 1 second here. Hang on, I'm gonna just go on a quick intermission here, guys, so you guys don't see me fumbling with a bunch of cables here. Let's see, I have a little intermission. Just let everyone know, he's fixing an echo right now, guys. I'm not going anywhere. Okay, I'm here. All right, so anyway, guys, let me know if things are better now and if I fixed the echo issue. I hope so. I think I have. Let me know what you guys are experiencing here. Yeah, I'm not seeing the audio levels I was seeing earlier, so I think I probably fixed it. Let me know if you guys concur that the echo is gone. Okay, cool. All right, I'm glad I was able to fix it relatively quickly there. All right, cool. So basically maybe my computer, I have several computers here. I think the other one was protein deficient. So veganism has been debunked. Ryan of Happy Healthy Vegan had 2 computers going, one for the live stream. The other one was like playing it back, and I think the audio was getting fed back into the software here. So anyway, whew. Damn, you never know until you hit the go live button what kind of odd things might happen. But anyway, guys, as I was saying earlier, if you're new to these live streams, this is a place where vegans can come and participate in a vegan forum, ask questions, and be in a safe space where you're not going to get attacked. And if you're not vegan, you can learn as well. And if you're anti-vegan and you want to debunk veganism, I invite you to come and try your best. So anyway, cool. All good. Let's see. So I'll answer your questions and read your comments. If you want to leave any super chat tips to make sure I see your question, you can hit the super chat tip down at the bottom of the live chat, live comments down there. And also up top, I have a pinned message to our Streamlabs page, and our bot should paste it every like 5 odd minutes or so to Streamlabs, where you can also leave a super chat tip or a donation, and they don't take a cut, unlike YouTube. That's why Streamlabs is so popular amongst us YouTube, Twitch live streamers. So anyway, either way, it's all good. Hey, Peter, you found a new video from a person who quit veganism? Oh no, I have to make another one? Oh goodness gracious, Peter. I can't believe there's another one. Oops. Oh, what am I doing here? Yikes. I don't want to. Actually, hang on a second. I clicked it accidentally. So hang on one second. I'm coming back to the regular stream here. I meant to hit copy link. Here I go. And I'm going to see if I can paste it into my other browser here. Dang, I couldn't do it. Oh, well, you know, I'm going to keep this handy. I'm going to keep it handy for a future response, Peter. So I'm going to just paste it into my show notes down here. All right, hang on one sec. Thanks for pointing it out, Peter. I think I actually know a way to watch it. Let me see if this will work. This little hack here. But I can't believe someone else quit vegan. It's a bit older, but you hadn't seen it. Okay. Let's see if we can see it. Actually, let's give it a little gander here. I think I have a way to watch it here. So I'm just gonna click on I'm gonna click on another Why I'm No Longer Vegan video. Hey, this is Ryan of Happy Healthy Vegan. So a couple viewers of ours reached out, left comments, letting me know I should check out a new video from someone. You guys could hear the audio for that, right? Anyway, let me try this little hack here. Oh, there it goes. Okay. I'm stopping being vegan, but why? So what do you think, Peter? Is it worth my going through? Let's see. 10 minutes, not too bad. So yeah, I guess I could check that one out later, but yeah, cool. We'll check that out for sure. Let me get back to our video page here, and bam, we're all good. So anyway, yeah, let me know, Peter, what's the up? Is it worth my responding to? Hey, Sarah Smith, how's it going? Fresh Air Kaboom. You want to ask me about ethical consumerism and how it historically has never ended a form of oppression. What's different about veganism? First of all, what do you mean by ethical consumerism? And secondly, how does veganism relate to ethical consumerism? Do you know what veganism means? Fresh Air Kaboom. I don't ask that in a mean way. I'm not trying to start a fight or anger you or anything like that. I'm just asking, do you know what veganism means? Because it has really pretty much nothing to do with consumerism. I mean, in a roundabout way it does, since we don't purchase animal products because we have ethical beliefs about animal products, but I'm not sure. You got to paint a little more clear picture for me there to answer your question, and go for it again. I kind of see where you're going. I just need a little bit more clarification about ethical consumerism and how you're tying that into veganism, because we're not seeking to do what ethical consumerism is trying to do, I'm guessing. So anyway, Polish Prince, you drink raw celery juice exclusively 4 years straight, then switched to carnivore. Veganism failed you. Yes, I'm not surprised there, Polish Prince. Hey, Uncle Walt, how is it going? Fu Man Poo gets his protein at Joe Rogan's. Ethical consumerism is just avoiding products for ethical reasons. Well, actually, you know, I'll let you decide if veganism falls under what you consider to be ethical consumerism, because veganism has a pretty clear definition. Let's get to the definition of veganism. This is a pretty well accepted definition of veganism. Not all definition. I mean, no definition is going to be perfect. They all have their pluses and minuses, but this one has pluses. It's been around since the 1940s. Some of the first people to formulate the word veganism, as far as we know. And it's as you can see here, it's about It's a philosophy. It's about a way of living which seeks to exclude as far as possible and practicable all forms of cruelty and exploitation to animals for food, clothing, or any other purpose. So in other words, it means don't exploit animals. They're saying to other humans, hey, humans, listen up. Don't exploit animals. It's morally wrong. And furthermore, we just don't need to. There's no reason whatsoever to exploit animals. So let me know if you think that's ethical consumerism. Just curious. Let's see, Vegan Pam, your husband's claiming he can't go vegan because he's too old. I know this isn't true because you're 67 and vegan. Oh my goodness. I didn't see the rest of your question there. Let me scroll back up. How do I convince him that veganism is healthy for older people? Well, you've come to a good place here, Vegan Pam. Let's refer to the official position paper of the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. I guess your husband is assuming, oh, it's great for them young kids, but older folk, it's going to kill them or something like that. And this is the position paper that they arrived at. They put their name on this after reviewing the scientific literature. They just didn't sit there on an armchair or make up weird stuff in a Facebook group. This is the largest organization of health professionals in the United States. And they say here, appropriately planned, let me highlight the words here, appropriately planned vegan and vegetarian diets are healthful and nutritionally adequate. And here are these. Okay, so get this. First of all, I want to make sure you got that. They're healthful and nutritionally adequate. You're not going to be missing out on nutrition. But furthermore, for your husband, these diets are appropriate for all stages of life, including older adulthood. Again, this is not something they just pulled out of their butts or something like that. This is after reviewing the scientific literature, and they put their reputation of their health organization on there. They're not the only one. There's the British Dietetics Association. This is the one here that I'm referring to because it's the United States. So let your husband know there's been research into this. He's not going to be a guinea pig, and he it's right here. Just let them see this. And this is just the abstract. If you want to continue the whole study, it's quite a lengthy paper. It has about 100 references at the end where, that's where they got that's where they got their ideas that appropriately planned vegan diets are nutritionally adequate and healthful for all people in all stages of life. Okay, so Fresh Air Kaboom, who is interested in ethical consumerism, you just find that the way veganism is practiced in your understanding has to do with what products you are purchasing or not. For instance, you can work in a dairy farm and be vegan. Well, I mean, assuming you went, you got it. That's okay. The definition, as you saw there, as far as possible and practicable. If you were like working in a dairy farm before you went vegan, and then you went vegans, and it does happen, and you don't have to quit immediately. I mean, you still have to, provide for yourself or your family. Veganism isn't asking anyone to become homeless or get in debt or anything like that. It's pretty rare. And if any, true ethical vegan eventually, I'm sure, is going to want to find a different form of employment, one that's not, directly involved in violating their ethical beliefs. So yeah, it's possible. It's possible, logically possible, to be I'm getting all this glare, to be a dairy farmer and vegan. I don't know if there are any, but it's possible, especially if you were a dairy farmer before you went vegan and you still need to find a way to pay the bills until you can find a new job. So yeah, it's possible, but not really common. Okay, Vegan Pam, yeah, be sure to show this to him and let him know. I mean, I'm not in my 60s, but I'm in my mid-50s, and I've been vegan 11 years, Same with my wife, Angie. We've both been vegan since 2010. She's vegetarian since the 80s, basically. So, yeah. Yeah, let him, if he wants to talk to a relatively older vegan, but there's many vegans that are way older than I am. I'm just saying I can provide myself because I manage what I do. Hey, Patrick, you got your book today. Yeah, Patrick. Yeah, I remember we were emailing. We had some issues on your order. It's just slight ones. Yeah, but you got your Happy Healthy Vegan cookbook today. Let's see this. Patrick ordered this, and I think I just took it to the post office day before yesterday. So you got it just like that. See, that's what I'm telling people. I fulfill the orders quickly. I don't sit on them too long. Cool. I can't wait for you to dig into it, and you're going to enjoy it. let's see, but Graven Babies, on the other hand, has been vegan for 8 years and is a ghost now. So your mileage may vary. No, just kidding, vegan Pam. Yeah, let your husband know there's been studies on this and position papers by health organizations, and you can be in your 60s, 70s, 80s, older, and be vegan. There's no nutritional inadequacies in vegan diets once you're older. Travis, it sometimes can suck being vegan. I'll agree with you. More often than not, it's really cool being vegan. Yeah, Patrick, yeah, people that work in dairy, they can, if they own the farm, say, if you have the freedom to make those kinds of big decisions, yeah, you don't have to be stuck using your land for dairy production. Yeah, dairymen and women can start growing beans and other vegetable and make more money than they do in the failing dairy industry. Polish Prince, am I still dunking? I'm dunk training, but I haven't dunked yet since I started going back to the gym maybe 5-6 months ago, but I'm really freaking close. I got some photos up on my Instagram. I'm really, really, really close. So right now I'm backing off of the gym, probably because, it's probably not a great idea to be going right now anyway, for the next few weeks at least. So I'm doing it more of I'm doing more strength trainings, particularly my lower body, what's it called, the posterior chain muscle. So I just want to get a little more muscle in the down below, and then work on some more plyometrics to explosively use those muscles. I just need another inch or so, and I'm really close. That's what I'm working on. Let's see, Fresh Air Kaboom. Yeah, you're saying there's vegans that work in supermarkets. Yeah, unless you happen to work in a vegan supermarket, there's going to be animal products there. So how's that a problem? That's a form of industry exploiting animals, right? But you're still considered vegan if you don't buy animal products. Oh, Patrick, thanks. I'll get to you in 1 second, Patrick. Let's look at the definition one more time. Fresh Air Kaboom, to show you the part that you're missing out here. As far as possible and as practicable. So if you need to put food on the table and you work in a gas station that happens to sell some beef jerky on the counter, it doesn't mean you're not vegan. It just means you don't control what products are sold there. If you're vegan and you work in the produce department, but across the store there's a butcher department, it doesn't mean you're not vegan. As far as possible and practicable. Again, I want to emphasize, going vegan, it's not asking you to become homeless or in debt or do financially foolish things like go $70,000 into debt buying organic products like some former vegans have said veganism is responsible for. No, it's not asking you to do anything of this sort. Just asking you to take an ethical stance as far as possible and practical. Yeah, don't buy the leather shoes. Don't buy leather wristwatch bands. Don't buy animal products. Yeah, you can do that. You can't control what your employer might put on the store shelves that you have no say whatsoever. You don't know. You're not Jeff Bezos. You don't own Whole Foods, is what I'm saying. And Patrick, hey, thank you for the pizza fund there, Patrick. Yeah, we're talking about how to work out a certain promo code issue you're having. So thank you so much, Patrick, for that. Much appreciated. It's an inside joke. We both know what's going on there. And Vegan Metalhead, you too. Let's see, just getting over a nasty cold. Veganism debunked. Yeah, some people think, well, veganism means you're in perfect health, you never get sick, and blah, blah, blah. No, nothing about veganism says that. Again, look at the definition. It doesn't say veganism is this philosophy of achieving perfect health and blah, blah, blah. No, we get sick, we get colds, and get COVID and get, cancer, whatever. You can get anything as a vegan. Let's see, Fresh Air Kaboom. You have a really interesting angle. Ryan, what I mean is that veganism is mostly, if not entirely, about what products you purchase rather than what place you work in. No. I mean, you're close. You're really close. Fresh Air Kaboom. Let me just break it down really simply for you. Again, I'm not trying to insult you or anything like that. It can be kind of confusing what veganism is. So here it is. It's an ethical stance. It's like either agree with this or not, that it's morally wrong to exploit and harm animals. If you agree with that, you're pretty much vegan, because here's how to become fully vegan. First, you have to have that moral, ethical belief that it's morally wrong to harm and exploit animals. So if you fully, truly believe that, you still need to survive, right? You need to eat, pay your bills, but let's talk about eating. So if you truly believe it's wrong to exploit animals, you can control what you put in your body, and therefore the only logical choices left to eat are plants and fungi and mushrooms. That's it. You're not going to consume any dairy, eggs, meat. All that stuff involves cruelty and exploitation of animals to some degree. So we have a moral belief, and we follow that by not consuming animal products via food. And furthermore, why promote other forms of exploitation such as like leather? You're not going to buy leather shoes. You're not going to wear fur from seals or whatever furry animals. It's living in accordance with that. If you're a vegan, you're probably not going to go apply at a job for like a butcher or something like that. But if you already were one, you'll probably have to do it for a certain amount of time until you could find a different career. But it's not really where you work. It's what you believe and put into practice. Like, I'm not going to consume these animal products. And furthermore, it's not even consuming them. Say you already owned like some old leather shoes from like 30 years ago, as I did. So they've been bought. They were bought a long time ago, way before I even thought about going vegan. Point is, I made a decision. Well, if I wear them, I'm showing people, hey, it's cool to wear this. I'm like kind of giving a thumbs up, saying, hey, I approve of this. No, I don't approve that. So I don't wear them out of my moral belief. I don't want to like make it seem like it's normal and okay to wear leather. So it goes beyond like, where you work, but that, that's like the smallest part of it, I would say. Let's see. So what else you asking? Travis, could I keep my dog fighting ring going if he suddenly go vegan? Yeah, that's a good question. I like Travis. Hey, Sarah Erickson, how's it going? How's it going there? Wearing cow skin is gross, Great German Babies. Agree with you 100%. If you find it truly morally wrong to harm and exploit animals, to put animal skin or furs or whatever on your body, like, ew, that's like horrible. It's like wearing human skin or something like that. It's just completely gross. Yeah, Fu Manchu took it. I wear human skin. There you go. Your own human skin, as opposed to someone else's human skin. But yeah. Let's see, Uncle Walt, do I know the secret of Soylent Green? No, I'm not aware of this. I've heard of it. What's the secret of Soylent Green? So Jaden has his or her, I think that your picture's so tiny there, insight onto the questions about consumerism. Purchasing decisions are just an aspect of everyday life that we constantly have to make. True, so true, to survive as a result of living in a capitalist system. Though the primary focus, veganism, surrounds morals. You're absolutely right. I mean, it's a moral position. However, this is the real world. We have to make practical choices on a pretty much daily, if not like hourly basis. So we make decisions based upon our ethical beliefs. So if someone were to offer me a leather coat or something like that, it's like, no, hell no. Yeah, I kind of remember that. It's like in the world, Soylent Green's like in a world where like meat's really scarce, it's really precious, the only meat they could find. I guess I don't know if they knew it at the time, it only came from humans. Was that it? It's been a long time. Wasn't Charlton Heston or something like that in it? It's been a long time. Ron, do I support vegans for Congress and White House, like Cory Booker, that want good government policies friendly for vegans and animals? Well, it's all about their actual policies, their actual positions. So we'll have to take a look at them. I didn't remember too many pro-vegan things in Cory Booker's policies, and I thought he was kind of like, kind of almost reluctant to say he was vegan, but we'll see. I mean, I ran as a vegan city council candidate. It was with Charlton Heston. Okay, cool. Peter's not into going for the plant-based chicken at KFC. Yuck. Just the whole thought of walking into a KFC to me sounds completely gross. Maybe going through the drive-thru might be a little bit better, but yeah, just the whole thought of going to a KFC, a place I've detested for so long. It's kind of like McDonald's, you know? It's like, I just can't, it's hard for me to bring myself to go there. But hey, if anyone else wants to go, I'm not going to make a video calling you out. I'm not going to say in the live stream you're a bad person. Everyone's got to make their choice on that. I just, I have so many other options. If it was the only option somewhere, I'd probably try it out. Let's put it like that, but barring a situation like that, I don't see myself going. Yeah, Logan's Run. That's a great movie too, if you guys haven't seen that one. That was from my childhood. Oh, the vegan metalhead. So what did you think about, you had it twice. What did you think about the KFC Beyond Chicken? I thought I heard a couple friends of mine say it was pretty good. Let me know what your thoughts are. Yeah, Ron, if Cory Booker has, here's the thing, I don't remember Cory Booker ever saying that he part of his platform is to end all these agricultural subsidies for the meat and dairy industries, which are old and unfair. They don't need to be subsidized. That needs to end. So if that's going to be an official part of his platform, he'll get a big thumbs up for me, for sure. But I've not seen any major serious politician seriously call for an end for these unfair practices that drive down the price of meat and dairy, while other plant food products have to can't, they don't get those subsidies. It's hard to compete on an even playing field, especially if you're trying to make a substitute products like, say, Just Egg, vegan cheeses, Beyond Impossible burgers, and the like. Oh, Graven. The KFC is expensive. Okay. Let's see. Fresh Air Kaboom. Thank you for my answers. Sure. You're wondering maybe someone who grows their own food and hunts a deer that fed them for an entire year is not harming animals more than someone who buys vegetables. Again, you're kind of thinking it in the wrong way. You're thinking of like a reducitarian or something like that. Or there's no words in the definition of veganism suggesting a way of life that seeks to reduce harming animals. No, we just find it morally wrong to harm and exploit animals. So yeah, we're not about like reducing. Even it will naturally happen as a byproduct of pretty much boycotting animal products, but that's not the goal. It's a moral. It's like rape. It's like if you're against rape, you're not like trying to reduce the amount of times you rape in a month or year. You know what I'm saying? You're categorically against rape. You don't want to rape at all because it's morally wrong. You don't want others to rape you and your friends a little less because it's morally wrong. You're just against it completely, and that's how veganism's. That's how vegans look at animal exploitation. We're not trying to reduce it, really. I mean, yeah, by not engaging in it, it will reduce, but our goal is, it's just wrong. We find it morally wrong, and therefore we don't consume and promote animal products. Fresh Air Kaboom. But what about harming rats in monocrop fields? Well, guess what? Most farmland in the United States is not used to produce food for humans. These big monocrops you're talking about, like corn and soy, like I forgot what these figures were. Correct me if I'm wrong. They're like in the upwards of 90% of corn and soy grown in the United States are fed to livestock. So if one is truly concerned about crop deaths, unintentional crop deaths, one would switch to a vegan diet because we'd be growing way fewer plants and therefore fewer crop deaths would occur. If that's truly your concern, so I'm saying there's no way around this. Animal agriculture, if you're looking at a reduction of killing crop deaths, animal agriculture increases it up all the way, and veganism, or just eating plants, I should say, brings that down. If you want, I could show you a study that actually has calculated how many animals are killed in the production of certain kinds of food, how many animals are killed in both slaughter and in the crops and the agricultural production. Any way you cut it, plants win. In fact, I'll just put it up there. I'll just paste the link. Why am I waiting for an answer? I'll just put it up there. That's why I have these links ready to go. The title of this is number of animals killed to produce 1 million calories in 8 food categories. And this isn't like a scientific paper. It's more of a mathematical model. The author the researcher shows their assumptions, the formulas used to arrive at these calculations here, and you're free to have a look and see if they're wrong. I've never had anyone had any problem with these. But like, say, to produce 1,000,000 calories of chicken, say, you would have to kill, let's see here. Let's see, for chicken, you'd have to slaughter 237 animals, and in harvest, 13.5 would die. In total, 251 animals would be killed to produce 1,000,000 calories of chicken. Well, let's look at like grains. 0 animals are killed in slaughter, 1.65 in harvest, so 1.65 versus 251. So here's some actual numbers that you can sink your teeth into. And if anyone wants, I will post the link to that paper here, this mathematical model, and have a look at it. So anyway, yeah, why would you kill Bambi? Huh? Spread hummus, not hate. Love that. Mike the Vegan, yeah, I watch him sometimes. I don't watch too many vegan YouTubers, to be honest with you, anymore. But yeah, Mike's one of the ones that has remained in my, like, you know, people I trust and watch, and just enjoy their content. I'm not sure what you're talking about there, Fu Man. Wow, that's interesting, Kate. So your neighbor keeps chickens as pets. They're so cute. Your neighbors do eat the eggs, but they said they can't eat the chickens, or just chicken anymore, because they love their chicken so much. Yeah, recognizing that animals are persons. You know, it's so easy to be cut off from that when you get your food at the supermarket all wrapped up in plastic and cardboard, and the killing is done by other people far away. Once you see these animals that you're eating actually have personalities, and they're like little people, they're intelligent, they're sentient. That's awesome. That's probably the best way to go vegan, I think, is to understand the reality of animal sentience. Hey, Han Solo's cousin, thank you so much for your kind super chat tip there. Well, I guess I'll put into the pizza fund tonight that Patrick started earlier for us. Everyone can be vegan. Save all the animals by being vegan. I'm with you there 100%, Han Solo's cousin. Everyone can be vegan, according, it's not my opinion, it's the opinion of the Academy of Nutrition Dietetics, the British Dietetic Association. Properly planned vegan diets are nutritionally adequate for all people in all stages of life. Polish Prince, you caught me. You called me out. I am a shill for big oatmeal, huh? Probably big banana more than anything, huh? Roblox? What's that, Vegan Pam? I must have missed something going on there. That's sad to hear, Graven Babies. Well, I guess that doesn't happen to everyone, you know? I guess because the person who commented that before said they were intentionally, it sounded like keeping the chickens as pets. Maybe your in-laws never had that intention, huh? It sucks though. Just after like feeding it and every day it's almost like a pet, you know, like a dog or cat. You would say, why am I eating these animals and these animals over here? No, we take them to the vet, we bathe them. It doesn't make any sense, right? How does it make any sense to kill some animals and other animals you hug them in your bed or whatever? It boggles the mind, that disconnect. Fresh air kaboom. Do I think it's a moral obligation to grow your own vegetables if you can, since it's a way to avoid harming animals and supporting supermarkets? I tried this actually, fresh air kaboom, and it's a lot of work. You know, I tried growing them in my yard. Even got a 100 square foot plot from a local gardening group here in the city. And it's a lot of work. It's a lot of responsibility. It took a lot of time away from actually working and getting other stuff done in life. So after trying this for like, not a year, I still grow a few things in our front yard here. or in backyard too. But what I'm saying is, I appreciate the work that our farmers do, particularly, our farmers market farmers. I just said, hey, I'll support them. I'll give my money to my local farmers who I know who aren't monocropping and using combine harvesters and killing all these animals to produce vegetables and produce and fruit and all. So I'll pay them to do the hard work, because gardening is hard. If you can dedicate your whole life to it, cool. But who can? That'd be your job. You become a farmer. So basically, you don't have to farm or garden to be a vegan. Yeah, it's hard work. It's totally hard work. And I fully respect and appreciate what farmers do. But yeah, I can't do it. It's just too much. Hey, Han Solo's cousin, thanks again for your second very generous super chat tip there. Never kill animals in Minecraft or real life. Yeah, I don't like games where they're like, harming animals either. Just kind of, even if it's virtual, digital things, you're still the psychology. Oh, I'm gonna hit the animal and shoot the animal. So anyway, yeah, I agree with you. Never kill animals. Never normalize harming animals, whether it be in the real world or virtual worlds. Kevin, you met me at Woodstock Fruit Festival in 2013. Oh boy, here's a tough question for you. Where do you get your nicotinic acid? I don't know what nicotinic acid is. I'm not a doctor or nutritionist or anything like that. I make no bones about that. And I'm up front. If someone asks me a question, I don't know fully what it is. You guys can tell me what's nicotinic acid. I've never had anyone ask me that one before. I can tell you my blood tests are up here for all to see. I'm healthy. I don't think they've ever measured that one before. Nutrition least. I eat tons of nutrition least if it's in there. Ron, when did me and Angie give up leather shoes? Well, her never, because she was vegetarian. Me, the one I was talking about earlier, I bought a pair when I was in college. This is like 1990 or something like that, 91. It was a while ago. I bought a pair of Birkenstock sandals back then, and they were anyway. I didn't wear them all that much, so they were just kind of sitting in the closet. And after we went vegan, I just saw them in the closet. I go, what am I going to do with these things? It's like, I don't want to wear them. If people see me wearing them, they go, oh, leather's cool, right? You're cool with leather. Like, no, I'm not cool with leather. So yeah, I haven't worn leather sandals since 1990-ish or something like that. Hey, Hansel's cousin, you're so generous tonight. Thank you so much. You're sponsoring our live stream tonight, Hansel's cousin. Thank you. If you know Deep Vegan, I found out secretly kills animals in Minecraft. I have no idea who Deep Vegan is. I mean, if he's a vegan, at least he's not doing it in real life and probably can understand the difference. I'm thinking for non-vegans, it's probably even more important, because non-vegans don't even have the moral belief that it's wrong to harm animals. And if they just harm animals all the time without thinking about it in video games, that reinforces the normalization of harming animals. But thanks so much, Han Solo. Hey, and Variety Music, thank you too for your super chat tip there. Much appreciated. Hang on 1 second here. Okay, everything's cool. Everything is cool. Friday Music wants to know, do I look in Mother Nature, even though she's evil sometimes? It's balanced and every being eats meat. Can you explain that? Are you saying what happens in nature is right? Is that what you're kind of arguing? This kind of appeal to nature argument / fallacy? Is that what you're saying? If something happens in nature, that's what we ought to do? Or you could say if something happens in nature, that's what is, but we ought to do something. See, I'm going, saying how something is one thing, but to say that's how it ought to be, that's how it should be done, let me know what your stance is on that. And we just got a super chat tip there from Groundhog 11ish. Thank you, Groundhog 11ish. Much appreciated there. You didn't have a question. Thank you just for the vote of support there. Yeah, you can ask her. Yeah, you can do what you want here. Like I said, anyone who watches this live stream, it's a safe place for vegans to ask questions, and hopefully I'll give you some good information. And if you're anti-vegan, you can try to debunk it. And if you're somewhere in between, just hang out. It's entertaining, this whole live stream. Say, hey, Han Solo's cousin. Wow, thanks again for your super chat. You've totally sponsored us tonight, Han Solo cousin. We'll have to get a pizza and dedicate it to you. Yeah, you agreed about, killing animals virtually, like in video games. It's different, but in my opinion, it's still wrong. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, I don't like games that kill in general, where you have to kill people or harm people or animals for that matter. Just, I'm not into that. Let's see, Graven Babies. What was that comment that got hidden there? I know you're good. I'm not even going to read. I'm going to just approve your comment because I know you're good. Okay, nicotinic acid is just vitamin B3. It's just another name for niacin. Well, what foods have niacin? I mean, actually, let me just quickly look at some of the... let me look at my Clean Machine Green Protein, which I believe has... let's go there. Clean Machine Green Protein. Let's see what nutrition is in. This is what I put in my smoothies literally every day, except when I don't have a smoothie, which is extremely rare. So let's look at B3 here. Let's see. Okay, this does not have niacin. It's got B6. Okay, so this is not a good source for that, but good thing I also take my Healthy Cell Vegan Essentials. Let's see what they've got as far as that goes. Okay, where's my nutrients here, guys? Okay, here we go. Right here. B3, niacin, 16 milligrams, 100%. I don't take this every day. I take it maybe 3 times a week or something like that. But yeah, it's another thing I enjoy taking. Let me send you guys a link to this because I've been people have been asking about this. So, hang on one second, guys. Where did I put it at? Okay, here it is. I'll just put a link to healthycell.com. It's a 20% off coupon, if I understand it correctly. Let me put a link down here to it. But yeah, this has a whole bunch of good stuff there. It kind of fills in some of these nutrients that, the Clean Machine Green Protein might not have. But if you're worried about getting some extra non-dietary vitamin B3, right here, 100% of your daily value right there. All right, cool. So now let's get back to the main screen. I thought I saw a super chat tip come in when I was gone there. Let's see. Okay, Han Solo again. God, what'd you say there, Han Solo? Let me scroll back up. Thanks again for your super chat tip. I mean, you got us a pizza for sure. You play Minecraft, but you don't kill animals in there. I only eat plants in Minecraft. I have to admit, I've never played Minecraft. I know what it is. I've never played it. I didn't know there was killing animals in Minecraft, so that's news to me. But again, thank you so much, Han Solo's cousin. Appreciate that. Appreciate it so much. Because we are small channels, small-time vegan activists. So everything you can, feel free to contribute, super chat tips, buy our merchandise, watch our videos. We do notice and appreciate. So thank you guys. Let's see. When's Angie posting the next Angie's Animal Friend? She has a part 3 and 4 coming of the tiny baby kitty, the feral cat that we rescued. So I think part 3 is pretty much ready to go. So you'll see that in a few days. If I didn't go live today, she probably would have worked to get that out. Okay, variety music. You do agree that we shouldn't eat animals regularly, but the ape's diet contains 10% meat. Again, why are you talking about apes? Apes don't have moral agency in the way humans do, and likewise, apes don't have the ability to go down to a supermarket and look, am I going to go into the meat aisle and buy a bunch of dead animals, or am I going to go into the rest of the market and buy produce and frozen vegetables and stuff like that? It doesn't really matter to me what apes do. You see, I'm better than an ape in the sense I have moral agency, and I have more options than an ape in the sense that I can choose where I'm going to buy my food and buy that food. Apes are kind of limited to either what their zookeepers give them if they're in captivity or what they're finding in their natural environments. So that's not my situation. I don't have a zookeeper feeding me, and I'm not trying to hunt and gather out in the wilderness or anything like that. I don't live the life of an ape. So Do you look at apes as like the pillar of health or something like that? That's why I'm asking. Why are we looking at the apes? I mean, why aren't we looking at what nutrition science has found works for humans? If you're trying, I think that's what you're going for, some kind of like health for human eating, right? Han Solo's cousin. Wow, you're just on fire today, Han Solo cousin, with the super chat tips. Thank you so much, man. You're wearing a hat that says "vegan for the animals." Hey, I'm wearing a shirt that says "My food doesn't scream," and that's what we're talking about. That's what vegans believe in. We have these ethical beliefs that it's wrong to harm animals. So yeah, even if an ape ate an animal once in a while, that doesn't mean I shouldn't eat an animal. First of all, I'm not an ape. Secondly, like I said, I have the ability to choose what kind of food I want to eat and where I'm going to get it. So yeah, apes don't have that. But yeah, you see, an ape, I don't think can have the moral belief that, it's wrong to harm and exploit animals. I don't think apes are capable of having such a concept and a belief. And if they did, they might not be able to follow through and be able to select foods that fulfill the requirements of that ethical moral belief. Peter, apes don't even brush their teeth. Yeah, I mean, apes poop in the ground. So, what was your name again there? Music? Variety music. I mean, here's what I ask people that like to bring up apes. They select one aspect of apes' behaviors, but they don't bring up the other things like pooping in the ground, not brushing your teeth, not using computers, never driving or taking public transportation. It's like, how come you select that one thing? Do you poop in the ground? I know you don't poop in the ground. I'm saying, how come you're not talking about pooping in the ground and not brushing your teeth, not washing your hair? These are other things that apes do, which might contribute to their general well-being and health or something like that. Han Solo's cousin. Thanks one last time here for one last super chat tip here tonight. Thanks. I think you're awesome too. Thanks for helping us out, and thanks for showing, not from your donations, but from how you got that hat there. Thanks for just representing veganism and letting people know, hey, it's a moral, ethical belief that it's wrong to harm and exploit animals, and let's try not to even do it, not only in the real world, but even in virtual worlds too. I'm with you. So thank you so much, Han Solo's cousin. Yeah, super wow, huh? Countrified vegan. I'm amazed and shocked. Thank you. Pho dieting. What's my opinion on eating oysters and mussels? Is it vegan? They don't feel pain, so they wouldn't be sentient, right? Well, yeah, I get this question from time to time. What about bivalves? And I know they don't have a central nervous system in the sense that, like, mammals do, but they do have a form of nervous system, unlike, say, plants. So are they sentient or not? I don't know, but since I don't know, I'm not going to eat. And here's why, too. It's not like these bivalves contain essential nutrients that all humans must eat. I mean, if that were so, that would have meant all humans lived near the ocean, evolved near the ocean and never left. Because, humans live all over. They live in deserts, mountains, inland. So my point is, there's nothing that you need to find nutrient-wise in bivalves. So just leave them alone. They're generally suckers of pollutants in the water too. So why eat something that's potentially going to have some harmful toxins in it and unnecessary? And they might be sentient. So in the spirit of veganism, if in doubt, go without. And I'm not sure about bivalves, so I'm not going to eat them because I'm not sure if they're sentient or not. I do know they have a nervous system. They can feel some kind of sensory, feelings of some kind, not to say emotional feelings, but sensory feelings, like, maybe getting squashed or something like that. And most importantly, no essential nutrients. So why should I eat bivalves? Yeah, they're like a fringe case, but yeah, again, I just eat plants. I eat plants and fungi. Hey, Grimlock. Thank you for your super chat tip there. Yeah, the ground is a great toilet. I'm not knocking it one bit there, Grimlock. I pooped in the ground before, so I know what I'm talking about there. I'm not going to say how many times I have pooped in the ground before. But I'm just saying, these people that like to bring up, like, oh, well, what about the apes? They eat like our music friend there. Yeah, he said that apes eat maybe 10% of their diet is non-plant source. Okay, how about pooping in the ground? Are we going to copy everything apes do? Why are we picking on that one behavior? I'm trying to figure that one out. Let's see, Pho dieting. Thanks for the answer about the bivalves. Simon Hill brings up the idea in his book. The proof is in the plants. I hadn't considered it. I'm saying there's no point. There's nothing you need in There's no essential nutrient in bivalves. Here's my point. I've gone 11 years without eating a single bivalve, okay? And my blood test, you want me to, I can link you to my blood test videos if you haven't seen them already. Forgive me if you already have. I've been putting them up here the entire time I've been vegan. Totally healthy. You don't need bivalves to be a healthy, thriving vegan. So what's the point? Why eat a creature that might be sentient when it's completely unnecessary? You don't need bivalves to be alive. Hey, vegan metalhead. What was your thanks for the super chat tip there. Wow, generous people tonight. I know, it's amazing, huh? I'm very grateful and thank you guys. Let's see, Dorian, what's your question? How would you explain proven instances of herbivores eating other animals when they have the chance? Humans naturally do the same. Well, you're talking about creatures in nature, right? In the wild, who don't have the option to roll up to Whole Foods or a supermarket or a farmer's market as we do, or whatever kind of market. Creatures in nature are trying to survive, as humans were doing for millions of years or hundreds of thousands of years. So to compare us to a creature that has no choice other than to like find whatever scraps they can in order to like make it to the next day, compared to a human that can go to a market, it's not comparable. I mean, again, why do I want to model myself on animals who are trying to survive? I want to thrive, and I want to make decisions based on what are in accordance with my morals, and also in accordance with the health goals I want to achieve. And there's no reason to eat animal products. So yeah, some animals who naturally eat more plants will eat an animal once in a while. How does that affect me? That's my question. How does that affect me as a vegan? That sometimes a more herbivorous animal, as you assert, will sometimes eat an animal. Why should I pay attention to that, since I can go to the market and they can't? Humans are creatures in nature in the wild. Yeah, if you consider pushing a shopping cart down the aisles of Whole Foods, a creature in nature, that's my nature. And I don't really go to Whole Foods all that often. I just use that as a market that everyone's heard of. It's, it has a national presence. Hey, Polish Prince. Thanks for the super chat tip there. Where did you meet up with Duran Ryder? Misjudged? I met him at Woodstock Fruit Festival, and one other time during when him and Freely came out for LA Veg Fest. I went cycling one day with him in a large group. There was like maybe a dozen, 10 people or so, something like that. And they weren't all like hardcore cyclists. In fact, none of them really were. But that's it. So I can't say, someone I've met like really twice for like really limited, interactions. I know probably you guys better than I know him. So misjudged. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of him, to put it mildly. Yeah, he really shit on a lot of people. Matthew, I saw your comment before Race Lever got to it. I'm just saying, why should I eat bivalves? They're not necessary. Yeah, I'm sure there's some nutrients in there. I'm sure there's some nutrients in heroin, right? Besides the addictive stuff, I'm sure there's some beneficial things in heroin. I bet you there might even be some beneficial nutrients to be had from eating poop or drinking urine. There might be, right? But who cares? You don't need any of that stuff to live off of. And if you're a vegan, you have moral principles. Why violate your moral principles to eat something you don't need to? I've never heard of a vegan like, oh my God, I went to the doctor and my doctor said, man, you're so low in vitamin blah, 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 and you got to eat bivalves. The only way to correct that nutritional deficiency, my doctor ordered me to eat bivalves. I've never heard a story like that, Matthew. That's what I'm saying. It's not necessary to eat them. But yeah, there's probably something in there that's good for you, So what? We know there's nutrients in steak, right? There's nutrients in dairy. It's not like these foods are like eating plastic or cardboard, Matthew. No one denies that non-vegan foods are lacking all nutrients, but are they necessary? That's my question. Do you need to eat steak to be healthy? Do you need to eat chicken to be healthy? Do you need to eat bivalves to be healthy? And the answer is obviously no, or else I should be sick and dead right now, Matthew. So yeah, I think it's not inappropriate to bring up the distinction between beneficial versus necessary. Yeah, there's probably something beneficial in heroin. Does it mean it's healthy for you? No. And I'm not comparing heroin to steak, because I'm saying, I'm just showing I'm sure there's some beneficial molecule or compound in heroin. I bet you. P.S. Should you spend $1,000 in a casino tonight with your cousins? I would say P.S. If you make over, say, like maybe $250,000 a year, I think you could afford to lose that if you happen to lose it all. That's just, depends. If you don't make that kind of money, I would say no, don't go into a casino with $1,000 that you're willing to part with. Maybe make it $100 or something like that. So that's my opinion. Again, this is not a vegan question. I'm just giving you my common sense financial reaction to that question. Yeah, if you're a billionaire, $1,000, you fart that every second, right? No big deal. But for an average person, $1,000, pays their rent, pays their mortgage. So if it's like that, you might, if you're in that category, you probably shouldn't part with $1,000 unless you have a lot of money stashed away. Candor. Your concern with veganism is that it has become an excuse to try and control people. Well, that's a very vague, general thing you're saying there. Can you be more specific? Who? Like, if you know me, can you say something I'm doing to control people? Just curious how what I'm doing, since I've been a vegan activist now for been vegan 11 years, an activist for 8 of those 11 years. If anyone's controlling people, you think I would be, since I've been doing it so long and as an activist. So what am I doing to control people? I'm really curious to hear your answer there. Richard, yeah, plant-based isn't necessarily vegan. You could be plant-based, meaning, say you could eat nothing but plants, and maybe your doctor told you to, but you're really a big game hunter. You go to Africa twice a year and shoot up a bunch of elephants and whatever, and you come back, put the trophies on your wall. But you could be eating all plants because you just had a heart attack from eating so much steak your whole life, and your doctor said, well, you got to eat plants or you're going to die, and they reluctantly go on an all-plant diet. Yeah, they're plant-based, but are they vegan? Hell no. Hell, not in the slightest bit, no. Yeah, Jill, we could flip it around. We were all controlled as children and even older by people who forced animal products onto us. Yeah, my parents, God bless them and all, but, they're nice people. They had no idea they'd been taught a lie from society that, we got to eat the animal products. And yeah, we've been people been controlling us. What's that, Griffin Babies? How many licks it took to make it to the center of a Tootsie Pop? Variety. The animals we're trying to save eat each other. No, think again. Rhinoceroses, rhinoceros. I'm trying to save them. They don't eat each other. I'm trying to save elephants. I'm trying to save giraffes. They don't eat each other either. I mean, there's tons of animals out there that don't eat each other. Some are carnivorous like lions and tigers, and some eat plants like rhino and giraffe and elephants. So just because some animals eat other animals doesn't mean that I, as a vegan, need to eat animals. Like, just here again, just because something happened. Here, I could use your same argument on you. Hey, rhinoceros and elephants don't eat other animals. Therefore, everyone should not eat other animals, right? I'm just using your logic because you're saying what happens in nature is right. You're referring to animals that eat other animals. I'll refer you to animals that don't eat other animals. See how ridiculous this appeal to nature thing is? It means absolutely nothing. Hey, Countryfied Vegan, thank you so much for the super chat tip there. Much appreciated. So Candor, I missed your thing. Where is, please explain to me. You said vegans are controlling other people. I'm vegan 11 years, activist 8 years. Again, tell me how I am controlling other people. I really want to hear this. Maybe I've been controlling other people and just haven't been able to see it. I'm stuck in my vegan ways of thinking. So please enlighten me. How am I, specifically, this guy right here, controlling other people? Okay. 99% vegan, not too shabby. P.S. That means you're plant-based and you're really close to being vegan. Do you have the ethical belief that it's wrong to harm animals? If so, take it that last 1%. Man, you're vegan. That's it. Yeah, Peter, I wish I could control people. I know. That's why I want to hear us to say. I wish I could control people. I can educate people, present logical arguments, debunk crap arguments, but I can't control people. It doesn't work that way. Yeah, Northbound, does anyone even really want to eat a bivalve? Does any vegan really sit in there, man, if only I could eat them bivalves, oh my God, that'd be so awesome if I could eat them bivalves. I could avoid all them oxalates. Is that even a thing? The only people I hear bringing up bivalves are like people trying to find this weird argument against veganism. Lots of activists. I'm an activist. Want to lobby bans on animal agriculture. Can you be specific? Like who? Like has Earthing Ed been lobbying for a ban on animal agriculture? Like I want to see like who? Tell me, I'll Google it. Let me just Google bans on animal agriculture. Let's go take a look. See if we can find bans on animal agriculture. Ban on animal agriculture. Okay. I don't even know who this group is, but the World Animal Protection Group, I don't know if they're a vegan thing. It sounds like one. Help ban factory farming. The Farm System Reform Act. Let's see what they want to do here. Okay, it was introduced by Cory Booker. We were just talking about him. Okay, so what would it do? It would decrease the number of farm animals kept in extreme confinement and subjected to brutal mutilation. Sounds great. As well as reduce the overuse of antibiotics in agriculture, which is horrible for humanity, where they say we're breeding like a super antibiotic resistant superbug because we inject all these animals or feed them antibiotics. So we're going to kill ourselves by continuing this horrible practice of antibiotics in animal agriculture, as well as reduce the overuse of antibiotics in agriculture. It also calls for uplifting independent family farmers, protecting frontline workers. Okay, so what we'll do, hold meat companies responsible for the harm caused by factory farms that raise animals. Sounds good. Yeah, if they pollute a river, kill people next door with chemicals, yeah, they should be held responsible. How is this a bad thing? You're totally cool with like meat companies and slaughterhouses just doing what they want and not being held accountable what they do to their workers and the local people around them, and I would say even the people that they sell this crap to. It sounds on the surface of it pretty okay to me. Yeah, Candor Spot, you got it. The goal is to end animal agriculture, but through education. I'm not a fascist, okay? I'm not an authoritarian. I'm not running on a platform like I want to be the leader of the world of the United States and I will just magically wave my hands and animal agriculture will go away. It won't work like that. The goal is to educate people through presenting what we do, fact-based, evidence-based information, how it's absolutely unnecessary to consume animal products. You don't need to, or else I'd be dead now. 11 years, vegan, great health, great blood tests. I'll link them to you if you've never seen them before. Why do we need to eat animal products? Oh, because they taste good? Well, your freaking taste pleasures are destroying the planet. They're killing needlessly 80 billion animals a year, polluting our rivers, destroying the Amazon rainforest. 90% is attributable of its destruction is attributable to animal agriculture. I mean, why? Give me one reason why we should keep this going so our planet's going to die because of you people. Let me know. Anyway, Grimlock, thank you for the super chat tip there, Grimlock. You're so sad you can't eat oysters. I feel so oppressed. Just kidding. After eating bivalves, yeah. I mean, are these vegans? I know, like, oh my God, if I only could eat them damn bivalves. It doesn't work that way. It's just a weird argument here put out by anti-vegans trying to like trying to get vegans to slippery slope them way. Oh, start with bivalves, then we'll get them to eat like an egg or something like that, I guess. Hey, Peter 3.0. No, I didn't see your comment on the last video. Abolishing CAFOs. Wait, what are those again? I know what that is more important than veganism for animal welfare. No, I don't think I read through the comments since like the first few hours on my last video. I apologize for that, Peter. VLAM, we agree environmentalists should be vegans, but should vegans be environmentalists? No, we already have our hands busy enough trying to spread the what veganism is all about. However, it doesn't hurt to be like an environmentalist on the side, which I consider myself. I consider myself a vegan activist, and also because I'm a vegan activist, I feel like kind of makes me an environmentalist because I use environmental arguments quite often to show why we should give up animal agriculture for people who don't care about the morals and ethics. They're concerned about the environment, saving the planet. These are noble ideas. And if they don't give a crap about the morality of harming animals, they might give a crap about the morality of needlessly destroying our planet so they can have a friggin' burger, you know? So yeah, we should be environmentalists to some degree. But again, if you're not the kind of vegan like me that goes out to convince people, then you don't have to. But for someone like me, Earthling Ed, Joey Carbstrong, Mike the Vegan, you see we all use environmental arguments as part of our more holistic approach to talking about veganism. So yeah, it's got to be one of your one of the arrows in your quiver. You know what I'm saying? I agree with you, Peter. The governments all over the world need to get rid of subsidies for animal agriculture, 100%. Variety of music. Did I say that since I am not a part of nature, I am better than an animal? I think you're misunderstanding me. I'm saying the life of an animal who lives its entire life in a nature setting as opposed to a zoo. They're surviving day to day. They could get eaten by another animal or ran over by a jeep. Who knows? My life is a little bit different from that animal's. First of all, I have a society where I don't need to go out and struggle like that every day in order to survive. We have supermarkets, we have stores, we have markets where we can buy food, and we have moral agency. We can decide, hey, I don't want to consume animal products. So I'm not sure why you're trying to compare me to an animal. I mean, I am an animal, but I'm not, I have a whole different situation. I have moral agency and the ability to go to a store and pick out what I want. Animals don't do that. Animals can't go, let's go down aisle 3 and see what's down there. See if anything's on sale this week. It's you can't compare the two lifestyles. They're incomparable. So am I better than an animal? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying different, It's just different. Animals don't pay taxes. It's just different. Maybe it's better to be an animal and not pay taxes. Maybe so. I'm not denying that. But we have completely different lifestyles. And we have the ability to make moral decisions, which it's arguable if animals can or not. Yeah, Joe, it's fun tonight in the chat, huh? Hey, Race, you don't get to not be vegan and then pretend like you're evidence-based. Who's doing that? Yeah, Uncle Wall. I know plastics are harming mammals, fish, It's sad. But yeah, we're technically animals. I mean, it's not like we exist outside of nature, right? I mean, we just have a different lifestyle since we have, civilization. We have shopping malls and grocery stores and, taxes. We just have a different lifestyle. We've evolved a culture, society, whatever you want to call it, civilization that doesn't exist in the wild where these animals live at. We have a whole different way of living. Timothy, I guess I've seen like a chimpanzee or monkeys, they can go and steal people's stuff. Yeah. But again, they're just kind of surviving. Candor Spot. What's that? Is someone a vegan if they try to limit meat but struggle to stop completely? I think that fits the definition. Why would they struggle to stop completely? How is that the definition of veganism? Like, why do they want to quit eating meat? First of all, they have to find it morally wrong to harm animals. So why would they struggle? I mean, you could say you're on your way to being vegan, like you're 90% vegan. We have someone here, was it PS, that's 99% vegan now. I mean, you can be on your way to vegan. That's totally, valid. I didn't like just go vegan just like that. But I didn't call myself a vegan until I went vegan. So yeah, seagulls still, PS, you got that right. Addicted to meat? Well, then you will get, here's the thing, Candor's meat. If you're eating a normal standard American or Western diet and you try to eat plants, like say you try your best to go vegan, but you're only like 90% vegan, it gives your body time to adjust, your taste buds will adjust, your microbiome, your gut flora will adapt to eating more plants, and you won't crave meat. So there's really no meat addiction. You just might take a little time, like a couple weeks or so to have your microbiome adapt, but yeah, then you can call yourself vegan if you don't want to go overnight, but there's no struggle. A lot of people think it's a struggle for us to avoid meat. No, meat is gross. I'm not thinking every day, man, being vegan's awesome, but man, I really want to eat that meat. It's so, it's so orgasmically delicious. And it's not like that. Meat is gross. So there's no reason to struggle, except maybe at first and when your microbiome is still adapting. Again, those adaptations happen relatively quickly. They don't take years. They take days and weeks. Yeah, why would you eat meat? Why would you miss meat? It's gross. But if your microbiome misses it for a few days, all right, cool. Don't call yourself vegan until you've kicked it. It's not a big deal. Just wait. Say I'm going to call myself vegan in a week. Mark your calendar. Yeah, don't call yourself vegan until you're true to that. Say I'm like 90% vegan right now. I'm almost there. I'm on my way, and you'll be there soon. Cuttix bows. Well, yeah, no one here is denying that meat is devoid of all vitamins and minerals and nutrients. Yeah, but that's not why we're vegan. We're vegan because it's morally wrong to consume animals, to kill animals needlessly when you can consume plants, 100% diet of plants, and be a thriving, healthy person. That's why we're vegan. Yeah, we're not saying, I'm sure there's nutrients in poop, like I said. I'm sure there's nutrients in heroin. But who cares? No one's saying that all the animal products are like eating plastic or cardboard. What's Grimlock saying here? Thanks for the super chat tip, Grimlock. You don't have to love animals to be vegan. True, I know some vegans that really actually hate animals. You don't have to love humans to not murder. I hate it when people use that argument. Yeah, I'm not saying that you have to love animals. You just have to agree that it's morally wrong to exploit and harm animals. And that there's nothing inconsistent with that with saying, but I hate animals. For some reason you still hate animals. I've met a few vegans that seem to really hate animals, and it really confuses me. But hey, as long as they agree it's morally wrong to exploit the animals, yeah, and you don't consume their products, you can be vegan, totally. Cuttix bows. You don't have to kill animals to eat them? Wow. First of all, how does that happen? And secondly, how scaled is that? Is it just like a little niche thing? Can that scale up to feed like mass humans or something like that? I'm curious how you just like maybe do some surgery on an animal, like cut out part of its muscle and eat it or whatever like that, and hopefully it won't die or something like that. You're saying we're just gonna have all these like bandaged, wounded animals walking around, and what does this world look like that you're describing? Yeah, Race Lover, some animals are jerks. I've met a few jerk animals. I'm with you there, Race. Okay, fresh air kaboom, you get it. You hate most humans, but you don't want to exploit humans either, so it makes sense. Yeah, you don't have to love humans or animals for that matter to be vegan. Yeah, I'm with you, Uncle Wall. I want to see what Cuttix Bose is saying. You either have to kill an animal or perform surgery and have all these limping, wounded animals walk around. I want to see what they're getting at, because this is a new one. I mean, it's technically possible. You could probably cut a little bit off an animal and eat it, but why? If you're trapped in a plane crash and that's your only option, maybe, but why would you do that? It sounds cruel, super cruel. And remember, vegans are against cruelty to animals, and that is extremely cruel. It might even arguably be more cruel to have a wounded animal walking around for the rest of its life, missing an arm. Yeah, you amputated its arm off, and so you have a three-legged cow, and it just has to walk around on three legs the rest of its life. You think that's a better solution? Wow, that's a new one. Yeah, I heard about that, Peter. Yeah, lab-grown meat. Yeah, it's for people who who won't give up meat. So if they're gonna eat that instead of dead animal meat, I'm cool with that. I have no desire to eat it because it's meat. Like I said, I don't find meat attractive in any way. I find it disgusting. Let's see, Patrick, vegan for more than 4 years. All your blood tests are excellent. A road cyclist in Tucson. Out every day. People tell you have the highest energy levels of anyone you know. Yeah, exactly. So why would we need to eat animal products? That's I'm waiting. All these people say, well, why don't you do this? I go, well, my whole point is, why eat animal products? Explain to me why it's necessary in your minds to consume animal products. Like, how is it necessary? Let's see, Cutex bows. Let's see. So this is your explanation for how you can eat an animal without killing it. You're saying you don't gather or grow the plants you eat from the market. Well, not all plants I get are from the market. Some are from local here, like my yard. Yet you don't understand what I mean. No, I don't understand what you mean. I don't. Explain it to us. We're all waiting with bated breath. Please explain to us how you eat animals without killing them and without harming them. Please explain this. I want to see. Are you suggesting a world where you have all these limping animals without like missing a leg? Like, tell me what you're talking about, because we are perplexed. That's gross, Peter. Yeah. Eating meat is gross. Yeah, it sounds good, Jill. Hmm. And Grimlock can grow any plant in a clinical environment, taken on with that anti-vegan was saying. Matthew, okay, you're fighting with Race Lever about how to make veganism more mainstream. Tell me, I missed it. Please, Matthew, tell me how to make veganism a philosophy and way of living which seeks to exclude as far as possible and practical all forms of cruelty and exploitation of animals. Please, yeah, let me know your thoughts as a non-vegan, how to make veganism mainstream. Curious. Variety music. No amount of supplements can match nature's vitamins. If that were true, I wonder why so many non-vegans are buying billions of dollars of vitamins. Obviously, what they're doing ain't working. So yeah, it's not a vegan thing. Yeah, good point, Race Lever. The first step to getting veganism more mainstream, like where people are doing it and accepting it, is to actually become vegan yourself. It's kind of, to me, it blows my mind how you can propose as a non-vegan, somebody who's not even doing it, how to propose how to make veganism more mainstream if you're not even doing it yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you're not even vegan, I'm not sure if you have a leg to stand on. But I'm curious though, Matthew. Let's see what your answer is. DJ 2012, do I drink soy milk? No, I drink oat milk. That's been my favorite milk now for the past several years. Yeah, true, Rays. Hey, Joseph Michael, what is up? Oh, who's talking about Joe Rogan? Peter, who are you talking to? Yeah, why does Joe Rogan need testosterone injections in the butt? Peter, who are you talking to? What are they saying? And is someone sitting here saying vegans aren't masculine or don't have testosterone or sex hormones? Who's saying this? Please let me know. I'm going to stop the conversation and focus on that because that's just ridiculous. Yeah, you like oat milk too, Counter Spot? Cool. Yeah, I like all plant milks. I used to drink a lot of hemp milk when I first went vegan. There weren't too many options then. I thought hemp had like a nice trippy vibe, but yeah, I just love, um, what did I just have into again? Oat milk. Yeah, it just seems to be like the perfect plant milk. So let's hear what's going on with Joe Rogan's butt injections of testosterone. No, I don't make my own oat milk. We've tried to make some plant milks before, Moonstar. And again, I appreciate people who do the time and effort that goes into it. And I'm willing to part with a few dollars to pay someone to do it for me so I can pursue other things in life that I'm better at than that. Jill, I have no idea. I heard, yeah, Bill Gates is buying farmland. I have no clue. Okay, Peter, I was wondering if someone was saying something about like testosterone or something like that. Um, well, first of all, you're assuming, Matthew, that, okay, Matson, one of the best ways to make veganism mainstream is for the movement to disassociate with all the vegan quacks like Dr. Greger. First of all, you're assuming these guys are quacks. But secondly, I invite you, Matthew, go to a vegan festival and ask most people there if they even heard of Dr. Greger. Most are not. So even if Dr. Greger were this crazy, extreme, nutty quack, it's just making the worst villain you can imagine, okay? I'm just saying, most people have never heard of him. Most vegans have never heard of Dr. Greger. I can go and chat with vegans at my local vegan restaurant here. They have never heard of Dr. Greger. Most people I know who are vegan have never heard of Dr. Greger. It's just a few people who follow like nutrition stuff on YouTube. Most vegans don't care about that stuff, Matthew. We're vegan because we find it morally wrong. And it's not that hard to be nutritionally sound on a vegan diet too. You don't need Dr. Greger videos or what have you. So yeah, let's just say Dr. Greger is crazy, quacky, and all that stuff. I'm not saying he is. Who cares? Most people have never heard of him. It's not like Dr. Greger holds the vegan scene in the palm of his hand or something like that. We don't need to get rid of Dr. Greger. He's not even vegan. That's the whole thing. I've never heard Dr. Greger once say, hey guys, I am vegan. So why do we care about this guy who's not vegan and what he's saying? Because he's not a vegan, and most vegans have never heard of him because he's not vegan. That's funny, Race. Yeah, I mean, you can like Jack Norris and Jada Messina. I really don't like her, to be honest with you. She said some really just mean, nasty stuff to me before. I prefer to say Dr. Garth Davis. He's an actual medical doctor. Norris and Messina are not MDs. As far as I know, they haven't published any research or anything like that. I'm sticking with guys with doctorate degrees on that, and that's what Dr. Garth Davis is, medical doctor and an ethical vegan. But yeah, if you like Messina and Norris, cool. Yeah, I'm not knocking them. I just personally don't really care for them all that much. And I think their message about hitting all this protein runs antithetical to what Dr. Davis has found in his proteinaholic research. That, yeah, protein's important, but we don't need to have these like bodybuilder amounts of protein every day, especially if you're like kind of sedentary like Norris and Messina are. At least Messina is, right? I don't know much about Norris. But yeah, why do you need to take like this bodybuilder amounts of protein if you're just going to sit around all day and do nothing? Esselstyn's not a vegan, Matthew. I've never once heard Dr. Esselstyn say he was a vegan. I've never heard Dr. Esselstyn once advocate for the rights of animals. You're finding these plant-based doctors that you don't like, and they're not, most vegans have not heard of Greger or Esselstyn, and these doctors are not vegan, so why do we care? Well, okay, the vegan RD and Jack Norris, you take them to be pillars of vegan nutrition. I disagree. I think Dr. Garth Davis, who actually is a medical doctor, has written books about protein, and I take his advice over a registered dietitian. I could go become a registered dietitian in 3 years. I can't become a medical doctor, let alone a surgeon like he is. So I trust his opinions. If you want to try to drag his name through the mud, feel free, Matthew, because again, he's open to it. He's an ethical vegan and a medical doctor. So yeah, he's fair game. But why are you pulling these guys out who are not even vegan? Like, why are you attacking guys who are not even vegan? Even though some vegans might know them, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, Ron, I'm sure Dr. Garth, if he could go back and re-edit his book, he'd remove that bit about Freely during Ryder and Christina. All he was trying to say is this. I remember that part of the book, Ron, and let me address that part of the book. I don't think he was promoting them as good people or even as examples of people to follow during Ryder Freely and Fully Raw Christina. All he was saying is that people worry that you need to eat all these meat products or supplements to get adequate protein as a vegan, and he merely referred to them briefly as people who eat diets pretty much all fruit, and they're athletic. At least two of them are very athletic, and even they are able to get enough protein to fulfill their body's daily needs and to be able to cycle 8 hours a day or whatever those guys are doing. That's all he did. I don't think he was saying they're good people and that their diets were sound and nutritionally valid. He's just saying even people eating these weird all fruit diets still manage to get sufficient protein to be elite athletes or near elite athletes. That's all he's saying. I don't think, people who like to criticize Garth Davis for bringing those people up don't understand, why did he mention them for? To align himself with them? No, not at all. Just to show you can get adequate protein even eating a wacky fruit diet. Even fruit has protein. That's why he mentions them. Yeah, Dr. Neil Bernard, unlike Esselstyn and Gregor, who keep getting brought up here, Matthew, Dr. Neil Bernard, last time I checked, is an ethical vegan and a medical doctor. Again, I'll take his advice over the vegan RD any day of the week. You hear me, Messina? So anyway, Clapper, he's an ethical vegan too, Peter. I'm not sure. I don't follow him too much. I'm not a big fan of Messina. I think she's speaks too authoritarian and she is, beyond her. She's an RD, a registered dietitian, not knocking it. I'm just trying to set the place where RDs fit into the whole hierarchy and scheme of things. And medical doctors who are appropriately researched or informed in nutrition, like Dr. Garth Davis, I will trust his opinion over hers any day of the week. Matthew, I just said, here's what I said about, you don't like what I said. I said, Messina is not the healthiest looking person. I'm just saying this. As a lay person, I'm not a scientist. I'm a person who I don't have to abide by the strict codes of science, even though I get my evidence from science. But I will look at what what information people say and kind of look at them to see how it's working on them. I can do that. It might not be scientific, it might not even be right, but I see people like Messina and others like her accolade, like what's her name? Swayze, who promote these really high protein diets for vegans. And what do Messina and Swayze both have in common? They're just blobby looking. And this is a fact. I'm not saying this in a mean way. I'm just saying, is this what happens when you promote a high protein vegan diet, yet don't have a need for it, like a fitness component? I probably have more protein than they do. I'll take the challenge, okay? But I do something with it. I work out every day. I'm building muscle. I'm playing basketball. I'm doing explosive training. But I think what they're promoting, have all this protein, but just live a pretty much sedentary lifestyle, bloats you out. That's my hypothesis, Matthew. I think I'm able to form hypotheses. I would love to see this tested. I would love to see this research, but this is how science proceeds. And I'm not a scientist, but this is what happens. You make observations in the world and you go, I think there's a connection between sedentary lifestyles and high-protein vegan diets leading people to become kind of not that fit looking. That's a valid hypothesis. Is it mean? Maybe, but it's a valid hypothesis. I would love to see some research to see if my hypothesis is right. Maybe it's wrong. I'm totally open to it being wrong. And that's why people make hypotheses, to see if they're right or wrong. And I want to see if I'm right, because I think I am, but I'm not staking my reputation on it. I'm just curious. So I don't think it's unprofessional for me to make that observation and be brave enough to state it in the most kind and gentle way possible. I'm not saying they're bad people. I'm just saying, let's look at what their high protein diets are doing for them. They're making them blobby looking, sitting around all day eating all this protein and not getting sufficient exercise. How is that a bad person? I mean, what do you guys think? Is it wrong? Let me know, guys. Maybe I'm being a dick here. Let me know. Is it wrong for me to make such a hypothesis? Again, I'm not making a value judgment on them as people. I'm just saying, yeah, if you promote a high protein vegan diet, but you're not like training appropriately, burning the calories, whatever you're doing with that protein, like say me and others are doing with it, it might make you kind of blobby. Is that a mean hypothesis? Is there such a thing as a mean hypothesis? I just wonder that, because that's what I'm observing. But yeah, some people on nutrition Twitter called me out for being a mean or bad person. Hey, that's just my observation. I wonder, is this hypothesis true? Yeah, I'm not trying to be mean. Yeah, Heidi, I don't think I'm being mean, but if people get offensive or defensive when they hear that, that's on them. Maybe they need to work out a little bit more with all that high protein and actually do something with it other than get kind of blobby looking. Oh, Ron, what did Messina actually say about me? Oh, she just spoke to me like I'm a freaking idiot, basically. So yeah, I am kind of a freaking idiot, I guess. But you don't have to speak to someone like they're a freaking idiot. That's basically it. Spoke to me like just a mean teacher or something like that. A mean, whatever. Just speaking all authoritatively. Just like, hey, if you want to say something is wrong, let's have an objective, evidence-based conversation. But you don't have to be a dick about it. So anyway, but this is not why I'm saying she looks blobby. I thought that before. Ever since I first heard about her from Swayze, like maybe 6 years ago, I've seen these pictures of her, and she kind of looks like Swayze, just kind of blobby. And again, it's about intention. I'm not saying this to be mean. I'm just wondering if this is the results of their nutritional advice. I don't want any part of that. I'd rather look like me. I'd rather be lean and have some freaking muscles having all this protein rather than getting all blobby. Is that mean to say? I hope it's not. What's that race? You personally like to use evidence-based conversations while being a dick when you're dealing with jerks. Fa dieting. If they are vegan, doesn't matter what the nutrition distribution is. Well, according to Messina, yes, she keeps on preaching. If you're vegan, you have to have all this protein, so much freaking protein. For me, it's like, I don't worry about it. I follow what vegan medical doctor, not RD, vegan medical doctor Garth Davis has said in his well-researched book, Proteinaholic, that is basically really difficult to construct a balanced vegan diet where you're not getting sufficient protein. That's my belief, and that's based on research. So, but she'll say the opposite. She says, no, you have to have all this protein and it'll make you blobby, possibly. Candor Spot, Hinch Herbivore, used to be on steroids a long time ago. He has discussed this. He has admitted it. He has not been on steroids for ages. So yeah, he was a long time ago. Like, I did coke a long time ago, a couple times. Does it mean I'm on coke now? I'm like in the 80s or 90s, Does that mean I'm on coke now? Matthew, there is no movement. Here, if you want to talk about vegans, Matthew, talk about Earthling Ed, Joey Carbstrong, Mike the Vegan, me, let's see, vegan activists. That is the movement. You can go to an Earthling Ed event. They're not going to know who Dr. freaking Greger is. They're not going to know who fucking freaking Esselstyn is. They're not going to know this stuff. You're talking about, there is no the movement. The movement is amongst people who are vegan activists. Yeah, there's some people that talk about plant-based nutrition, but that is not the movement. We're vegans. We're not plant-based nutritionists. Yeah, Ron, I've heard their arguments about protein and stuff, and I've read Dr. Garth Davis's arguments about protein as well. And in my judgment, I believe Dr. Garth Davis's arguments are sound and valid. And despite what Norris and Messina might say, it does not invalidate the evidence that Garth has presented. Doesn't invalidate what I've experienced as a vegan as well, anecdotally. But yeah, Dr. Garth Davis has defended his position online several times over the past few months by these vegan RD type people who scream, he's a nut. No, he's in fact, they say his information is outdated. If I remember what's her name? Anna, the vegan skeptical doctor, whatever her name, it's not even vegan. But anyway, seeing his information is outdated. No, she didn't see that he replied to that charge of his information being outdated by presenting newer studies that have been published since the publication of Proteinaholic, which keep on continually supporting the main theme in Proteinaholic. So yeah, I believe his evidence is not to be discredited because it's fine. It's scientifically sound. Matthew, here's what I present to these people. Here's what I don't trust. Jenny Messina, if you're watching, listen closely, because I've called this out before. And a few others, and I think another, is he a medical doctor or a PhD? I called her out on this before. She argues, and Anna, the skeptical doctor person lady, says this as well. She says, well, I've asked them, like, okay, let's say Jenny and them are right, and there's, like, you're going to be protein deficient as a vegan. I'll say, how come we're not seeing any protein deficient vegans? If there's such a big crazy problem we all have to worry about, they say no, it's not, it's subclinical. That's what their term is, subclinical. So what do you mean by that? So you're saying it can't be measured by like labs and tests? They're saying yes. I'm going, this is crazy. How can you say that there's a condition which there's no way to objectively verify? You might as well say if you're a vegan, you're going to have a leprechaun in your blood, but you can't measure it because it's a leprechaun. You know what I'm saying? How can you argue seriously for a condition that has no objective verification? Are you listening, Messina and other Messina fans? I've discussed this with Anna as well, and she said, yeah, you're pretty much right there. And she tried to wiggle her way out of it, but that's the bottom line. They are arguing for a subclinical protein deficiency which cannot be measured by traditional labs and other methods. So to me, that's unscientific. If you cannot verify something, if it's outside the realm of what science can confirm or not confirm, we're not talking science anymore. We're talking about leprechauns and unicorns. So you're watching, Jenny? You want to respond to me? That's it. And sorry, Janie, if I seem a little hyped up here, it's nothing to do with you. Hopefully they won't cut this bit out. It's just because of the knuckleheads in the live stream comments. I actually have respect for you. I just think your hypothesis of subclinical protein deficiency that cannot be measured by any traditional scientific methods seems to me a little bit unscientific, because that's the whole basis of science. If you can't detect something, if you can't measure it, better figure out a way to detect it, or else we're not really talking science anymore. Yeah, it is pretty juicy tonight, huh, VLAN? I think my titles are getting people, huh? And by the way, yeah, the reason why Jenny had a problem with me, Messina, is because of a video from 2017 a young girl wrote me asking me, hey, she went to a doctor and the doctor said, oh, you need to have 100 milligrams of protein or grams, which is, I'm not a medical doctor. It was 100, and I said, that's way too much. Let's look at the World Health Organization's numbers here. And Jenny said, I used the wrong numbers. I should have used another set of numbers from the WHO that were a little bit higher. I think mine were put at around 30 and she wanted to be more like 40 or 50 or something like that. So I know, okay. Actually, Jenny, if you're listening, I actually took my video down. I haven't even talked about this on a live stream because of requests from nutritional Twitter. I actually said I agree. In my original 2017 video, if I included both sets of WHO data about protein consumption, I agreed. It would have been a better answer, a better explanation, but still, I said, all right, I'll take it down under the condition that Kevin Bass, remember that guy I debated who I just, exposed his falsities and misinformation about veganism. I said, if he takes those tweets down, I'll take my video down. So someone said, well, why do that? So it seems like fair is fair, right? And I waited. He didn't do shit. So anyway, I took them down anyway because that's the kind of person I am. If my video about protein consumption could have been better and potentially didn't live up to the promise of Messina's theories, I took it down. I still took it down, Messina. Are you watching? I took the video down. But I still quoted WH numbers. I didn't pull stuff out of my butt. Yeah, honest death. Yeah, you can. Yeah, it depends on your body size. 100 grams of protein. Yeah, totally reasonable. If you're bodybuilding, athlete, totally reasonable. But a 14-year-old girl who wasn't doing anything, weighed like 100 pounds, seemed like quite a bit. And I've never seen any recommendation for a sedentary 100-pound 14-year-old to have 100 grams of protein either. And if you're watching, Kevin Bass, I'm still waiting for you to take down those tweets of yours, which I proved to be both conceptually and factually incorrect about veganism. But his get to live up. I put there, it's been 12 days since I took my 2017 video down. Are we held to a higher standard? Let me know, guys. Are we held to a higher standard? I took mine down after some requests. I've never seen anyone other than myself to ask Kevin to take his fact-challenged tweets down about veganism, but are we held to a higher standard? I took mine down. Matthew, 20 grams of protein a day does seem a little on the low side. Again, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not going to give protein recommendations anymore. In fact, if you guys watch the beginnings of, watch my last videos where I responded to the why I'm not vegan Maui girl. I say right off the bat, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not going to discuss her health issues. It's not my place to do so. And I say the same thing here. But from my understandings, 20 grams seems quite a bit low. I would go double check that. Don't ask me. I'm never going to give protein numbers again, unless I'm reading out of Proteinaholic or a study like that. I'm never going to quote the WHO again. I'm not going to give protein recommendation, but 20 grams a day seems pretty freaking low. I mean, my breakfast has about maybe 40, 50 grams of protein in one meal right there. So yeah, 20 sounds quite a bit low, unless you're really, 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 really small. Uncle Wall, I forgot. It's about like a gram of banana, roughly something in that ballpark. It's somewhere in there. I forgot. I can look up on Chronometer again, but roughly 1 gram of protein per banana. Hey, Variety Music, thanks for the super chat tip again. Hey, it's been a while. Thanks to your first one in the past 30, 40 minutes. So are you saying you consume 95% plants and 5% meat? Was that your dietary intake there? Yeah, here's a good question. Ron's asked me that Hawaii ex-vegan, a lot of people are saying, did I watch her follow-up video where she claims to have eaten more meat? I don't really have to, Ron, because she said enough right there. She's already speaking in the language of raw people. She can say now, oh, I ate all this cooked food. Then explain to me this, Ron. If she was not as much of a raw foodist as she said, then why in the hell, when she lost her period from which sounded like a pretty much a raw diet, why would you seek the advice of a? She said, I asked a raw vegan what was going on, and he or she told me it's because I'm detoxing from animal products and my body's absorbing the blood from my menstruation. Why would you ask a raw vegan advice about why you lost your period if you yourself weren't eating a raw vegan diet to cause that period loss? I'm saying, on all her language of detoxing and all this purity stuff, I've seen this 100 times, Ron, and others. I've seen it 100 times from these recent former vegans who were following a raw diet. So she can backpedal after the fact and say, oh, I was eating all this cooked food too, but she was speaking the exact same propaganda that you see from raw food. It's about detox and purity and asking other raw fooders why they're so ill. Again, why would you ask a raw person why you're not getting your period if you're not eating a raw diet? If I was eating a cooked food diet and lost my period, even though I'm a man, why would I ask a raw foodist for? See, that makes zero sense. Zero sense. If the only reason why you would ask a raw foodist why you lost your period is if you were eating raw food. So that's my answer, Ron. Now, she could try to change the story all around, but it still doesn't change the fact she's thinking like a raw person, detoxing, perfection and purity, and she lost her period as the raw people do. Okay, so Faux Turkey, Faux Turkey he's saying here, he or she never claimed that 20 grams of protein is like the target. He or she's saying it isn't enough. I just said that it's what I eat sometimes when he or she's not on top of it, Matthew. How do you take that as an endorsement? Like, hear ye, all vegans consume 20 grams of protein, no more. Like, Matthew, how come? See, that's what I'm getting. I know who you must be now, Matthew, on nutrition Twitter. You're one of these people that just love to pounce on people, like, and then misunderstanding the context of their statements. Ask, first of all, Matthew, you should have asked Faux Turkey. Let me be really clear, Faux Turkey. Maybe I'm misunderstanding you. Are you recommending a dietary intake of 20 grams of protein? Just ask that before saying, hey, Ryan, did you see that person that recommended 20 grams of protein? See the big difference there, Matt? Make sure, get clarification. If you think someone's saying something ridiculous, that happens to me all the time. I ask people on the live stream, are you saying, if I understand you right, are you saying this? Ask for clarification before you jump on them and make accusations. Just saying, Matt, because I see this happen all the time on nutrition Twitter, and it bugs the crap out of me. Wow, Sarah, you're 6 feet tall, active, aim for 75 grams of protein. Yeah, you're around my age too. Yeah, I'm a little bit taller as a dude. Okay, Matthew, I should have clarified with you there. My bad. I should have took my own advice there. But yeah, 20 grams of protein does seem quite low by any standard or recommendation. But anyway, I still stand by nutrition Twitter as this place of just like that's oh, Dr. Greger, veganism sucks, Dr. Greger, and he's not even vegan. Anyway, Parth, it's not that great being tall. I mean, that's one reason why I went back to playing basketball, actually, because the sports I was doing before that favored shorter, lighter people, namely distance running and surfing. Yeah, you can be a taller runner and a taller surfer. I did those, but they're just natural physiological drawbacks to being bigger and heavier and all that for both those sports. I'm going, screw it. I'm going back to freaking basketball where my height is a freaking asset and I'm going to enjoy it every freaking day. Let's see. So Matthew's saying about So Mindful said, Breatively Cake suggested that Neil Bernard recommended that 20 grams of protein on a live stream. You got to read more. So this person was not suggesting it his or herself here. Yeah, here's what pisses me about these Dr. Greger haters, Jill. I'm totally with you. You got all these haters like Matthew and others that say, oh, he's got to be taken down. And first of all, he's not a vegan. Secondly, though, I mean, the haters of Dr. Greger typically disagree with just like a small percentage of his stuff. They kind of repeat the same. I forget the R. You see it on nutrition Twitter, like the same things like, you know, like for Eston, his heart disease, Greger, a few other things, like he didn't show the whole conclusion or something like that. Just a few things they nitpick him on, but the far breadth of his stuff is pretty sound. Just a few controversial things. So it's basically throw the baby out with the bathwater. We don't like maybe 2% of what Dr. Greger says. We have a huge issue with that 2 or 3% of the info from Dr. Greger. So the entirety of nutritionfacts.org is quackery and lies and misinformation. You might as well be following David Wolf or some nonsense like that. And that's far from the case. Peter, I've never seen Greger come out and say that he's vegan. That's what I'm saying, Peter. I'm not bagging on Greger. I've just never heard him say he identifies himself as an ethical vegan. That's what and I've asked people this, and I've never found like someone linking me to a video or a talk where he comes out and says it absolutely painfully clearly for all to hear and see. If you have that, let me know. I would love to see that, but I have still yet to see Dr. Greger come out and identify as a vegan. Like, you know, an ethical vegan, not just following a vegan diet, but actually ethically vegan. Okay, Peter, I'd love to see it though. Yeah, is there some, yeah, if something you could send me, maybe you could send it to my Twitter or just off our website. You could send an email there. I would love to see something that where Greger clearly, unequivocally comes out and identifies as an ethical vegan. Yeah, Peter. Yeah, that's why I brought up Avocado Wolf, David Wolf, because he thinks that weird crap like mushrooms comes from space and chocolate is an energy of an octave of the sun and just crazy crap like that. Okay, Peter. Yeah, you can't put the link actually, but if you don't mind emailing it to me, only moderators and myself can paste links into the chat, unfortunately, Peter. But I appreciate it. I would really like to check that out. Yeah, I'm not questioning you. I just love to see it myself. I'm that kind of guy, you know. Let's see. I'm going to see if we can find Neil Bernard's protein recommendation. Let me just Google right now. Neil Bernard protein. All right, so let's check it out. I'm just going to try it. It's like a shot in the dark here. All right, I'm going to try it out right now. Dr. Neil Bernard protein. Okay, it's in the video. Crap, I don't want to watch the whole freaking video. Let's see if I can find out here. Okay, so this is its website, Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine. All right, so how much do we need here? Okay, I'm still not seeing the numbers here. If someone... I'll paste a link to what I just found here. If someone can go through it with more fine detail than I just could quickly peruse there, I'd appreciate it. I just put the link down in the show. I'm sorry, in the chat. So if someone wants to go through, that would be cool. But I'm not seeing a protein number. Okay, here, I found it here. An average woman needs about 46. Let me go back here, browse web. Okay, right here. An average woman, according to him, okay, so Matthew was saying, someone's saying that 20 grams of protein. Here, right here. An average woman needs about 46 grams of protein per day. An average man, about 56. And research shows that most Americans already get more than enough, and that'll go to a study, I believe. So anyway, yeah, 46 for women, 56 for men. And here's the thing that got me pissed off. Like, you know, Jenny Messina got pissed off at me that I think I told the girl it was like 35 or 40 grams of protein, something like that. I think it was 40. I can't remember. I took the video down. I was pretty freaking close, and I was using WHO numbers. And I thought that was enough to, like, you know, say, hey, I'm not making crap up. Anyway, I wasn't too far off. 46 grams for women, 56 for men, according to this one article on PCRM. So it's far from being 20 grams of protein. Whoever's saying he's recommending 20 grams of protein, his website has at least double that, triple almost if you're a man. It's funny though, why do people like Matthew and Jenny and others worry so much about protein? Can you explain this one to me, Matthew? Like, how come you're not worried about, like, say, potassium or fiber? Because again, here's my whole point, Matthew and others, and Jenny, if you're watching. I've yet to meet, I'm not a doctor, but I know a lot of vegans. I know many, many vegans. Pretty much all my friends are vegans. I've yet to meet a protein deficient vegan. It just doesn't really seem to happen, but we have data that shows that 90+% of Americans are deficient in potassium, 90+% of Americans are deficient in fiber. How come you guys aren't like making this crusade about potassium and fiber, but you're on this crusade about protein? What, when we're just not seeing vegans with any kind of health effects, negative health effects from not getting enough freaking protein. Just curious, why is protein such the big crusade? I mean, again, I'm not against protein. I have like 40, 50 grams in one meal alone in breakfast with my protein supplements and everything. I love protein. It's making me have these gains here, guys. But what? Why is all these people fascinated with protein for? I don't get why not carbohydrates? Why not fat? Why is protein this big crazy thing that you guys are all into? VLAM, I think there is some truth. There's been some research showing that, all things being equal, a meal that has a higher macronutrient ratio of protein has a higher satiety level, more satiating. Again, I'm not a medical doctor, but I remember some research showing that. And I've kind of noticed that myself anecdotally. Now that I'm putting all, like my Clean Machine Green Protein into my smoothies, they seem to keep me more satiated for a bit longer than if it were more like higher in carbohydrate content. Matthew, but not vegans. Why are you so concerned about protein when 90%, if you just go out into the world, Matthew, and find 10 people, roughly 9 of them will be deficient in fiber, 9 of them will be deficient in protein. Potassium. 90% for both of those. So why is everyone worried about vegans and protein? That's what I don't get, Matthew. If you're really concerned about Americans not meeting their nutrient needs on a daily basis, you're picking on the wrong people here, Matt and others. Go out and find your non-vegans out there who are deficient 90% in potassium and fiber. That's what I'm asking you. That's why is vegans and protein such a crusade when I'm not seeing any data showing that vegans are deficient in protein or have this Jenny Messina subclinical, non-scientifically detectable protein deficiency? Why are you guys worried about something that's not really measurable, but it's really easy to measure 90% of Americans being low in those 2 nutrients I mentioned? Just curious. I'm not saying you guys are bad people. It just doesn't compute. It doesn't add up in my brain. Help me understand. Make me understand. Yeah, they're just hogging the chat, Jill. If you have a question, if we have some questions from non-anti-vegans or vegan skeptics, please ask right now. I've given them a huge chunk of time here. Yeah, VLAM, we should start asking non-vegans, where do you get your potassium? 90% chance you're one of those people who are deficient in potassium and fiber. Well, Matthew, you have a loaded question there. You're assuming, you're saying vegans need to understand they need to consume more plant protein. Then what? I've been vegan for 11 years. Then what? For me, then what? Then eating meat? I don't know what eating meat's like. There's no then more. You know what I'm saying? More is a relative term. It's more in comparison to something else. We don't speak like that. I mean, I don't understand more. More than what? The thing is, your statement might have some validity there, Matt, if it were somehow a scientifically known fact that vegans were somehow not getting enough protein. And I'm not seeing the research, Matthew, that vegans are not getting enough protein, assuming they're following, a non-crazy diet, just, sensible, balanced vegan diet. If you can show me research that vegans that are not doing something wacky like raw or whatever, and then that's why Garth Davis pointed out the raw people, even they somehow manage to get their protein. But I'm saying, why are you going off on something that's not really based in science, that vegans are deficient? Yeah, maybe we do need more compared to meat eaters, maybe so, but considering that we're not measuring ourselves to meat eaters as far as our diet goes, see what I'm saying? Like, we don't construct our diet based on what meat eaters are eating. We're just eating a balanced vegan diet. And show me that balanced vegan diets don't provide enough protein and we're protein deficient. Please show me this. Because I didn't take any protein supplements for 8 freaking years as a vegan. 0. And I was fine. I was like running half marathons on my own, just as practice runs on weekends. What? I don't understand. If I were so deficient, I wouldn't be able to do crap like that. I'm just asking you, Matthew, show me that vegans, you're saying that we need to eat more protein. I understand. I hear what you're saying there, Matthew. Not to say I agree with it, but I hear what you're saying. But in order for that statement to have any real validity in actual vegans' lives, you got to show me that we're not getting enough protein eating a balanced, sensible vegan diet. If we're eating the way we are and we're getting enough protein, why would we need to eat more protein? Just show me that. How I need some evidence to indicate that the amount of protein that we're eating is not enough to begin with. Just let me see that. Matthew, don't answer so mindful. Answer me. Show me the studies that eating a balanced, sensible vegan diet doesn't provide enough protein. I want to see this stuff. Because I've seen Dr. Garth Davis present a few studies just in the past few weeks to answer these knuckleheads like Kevin Bass, showing new studies that came out since the publication of his book, Proteinaholic, which indicates that, again, vegans are getting plenty of protein, a sufficient amount of protein, assuming they're eating a sensible diet. Ryan, why do you push your affiliate code when recommending your favorite protein powder? Have I pushed it once today? Eat real whole food, not protein. It's not a protein powder. Whole food. Do you know what my protein powder is made of, Ron? Do you actually know? Let's take a look at it here, because you're talking like it's not a whole food plant. Where'd it go? Let me pull it up. I haven't mentioned my code. I've been on air for over 2 hours live. Clean Machine Green Protein is a whole food plant. It's actually 2 whole food plants. It's primarily duckweed. It's friggin' duckweed and a bit of pea protein mixed in. It's a whole food plant. How come I can't talk about a whole food plant? It's marketed as a protein supplement, but how many protein supplements have this macronutrient? Look at all these nutrients. How many protein supplements, without adding extra crap in, just naturally from their just simple whole food ingredients, have, like, say, 46% of vitamin A, 1,000% of vitamin K, 20% of B12, 23% calcium, 75% iron, 17% magnesium, and so on. So I am promoting a whole food plant, my friend. It just marketed as a bodybuilding or protein supplement, but it has omega-3 fatty acids too, naturally. This stuff isn't added in, Ron. So your criticism is just completely unfounded to try to discredit what I take for protein as not being a whole food plant. It is. It's just ground up. It's no more process than like me grinding my bananas up in the smoothie machine, the blender.
Oh, vegans have to eat more protein than meat eaters? Guess they should keep eating tofu then, since it had double the protein per calorie than eggs. Lol. Not that the digestibility myth is even true. The DIAAS scoring system has been debunked many times.
Yeah, I mean, if you're really, if you're vegan and you're really worried about protein, eat more legumes, and tofu is a legume. Eat all sorts of beans. But I agree. Thanks for the super chat tip there, Vegan Pump. Yeah, just eat more legumes. If you're a vegan, like say Matthew were to go vegan, Matthew Kim here were to go vegan, Yeah, just eat more legumes. You know, if you're really worried about protein as a vegan, if you're like, some vegans are really worried about protein, and Matthew would be one of those. Eat more legumes. How hard is that to have a little extra tofu or some beans every day? Then handled. And you're still getting protein from your other dietary sources. But Ron, thanks. Nice job trying to discredit my protein supplement as being some kind of bro powder. No, it's a whole food plant, happens to have boat ton of nutrients in addition to amino acids. As I say, I came for the amino acids, but I stayed once I learned about everything else, like the bioavailable B12, omega-3 fatty acids, and the other vitamins and minerals. So nice try, Ron. And I haven't given my code yet, but you know, I'm going to do it because of Ron. And why did I give my code? Because actually people are interested in this, because it's good. I use it all. I've been using it now for like 3 years. So my code is Happy Vegan. I'm going to paste it down below for Ron to check out. This lovely whole food plant called duckweed. It's it's just full of nutrients. What can I say? You know, it happens to have protein in it. It happens to have other good stuff too. So anyway, what's bad advice? Tell me, Matthew. Recommend protein powder, not legumes. You're saying don't recommend eating legumes for protein. Like, don't tell people to eat tofu, which is a legume, because the protein in legumes are attached to fiber, hence the lower digestibility and bioavailability. Yeah, it might be less bioavailable. The question is it so decreased, diminished in its bioavailability that eating a sensible amount of them is not going to give you the protein that your body needs? That's what Matthew is asserting here. Matthew is asserting, as a vegan, you must take protein powders. As he's saying, recommend the powders. And I've been vegan for 8 years. No deleterious health effects whatsoever, Matthew. Watch my blood tests. Watch my fitness. Doing all sorts of crazy stuff. No problems whatsoever with health or protein issues. Wasn't breaking bones. I'm out there running, falling down when it's raining and stuff like that. No broken bones at age in my late 40s, early 50s. So I'm not sure what you're talking about there, Matthew. You're going to have to give me some strong evidence saying that it's pretty much next to impossible to eat legumes like tofu and get the necessary protein absorption out of them because of these issues you brought up there, Matthew. Okay, no, Ryan, eat legumes, just not exclusively. No, I'm not saying exclusively for protein. I know there's all sorts of great nutrients in legumes. I'm just saying if you really want to up your protein intake, up your legume intake. Yeah, take a supplement like I do too. Take some clean machine green protein. I love that stuff, you know. But I'm not going to recommend a protein powder because if you don't really need one, because I didn't really need one until I started changing my training. You're saying here's what Matthew's saying, that if you're vegan, you pretty much need a protein powder to meet your body's dietary protein requirements. That's what Matthew's saying, and that's just simply not the case, Matthew. I've seen no fact-based information indicate that if you're vegan, you pretty much demand a protein powder supplement of some kind. Not seen evidence for that. In 8 years vegan, completely healthy, blood tests to back it up, extreme athleticism, more than Jenny Messina could ever have done in her lifetime probably. Never had any kind of problems with clinical or subclinical protein deficiency, Matt. Why? Because I was eating sensibly. Just sensible diet. Oh, so Matthew doesn't even like my protein powder. He wants chemical isolate. Mine's a whole food plant. So Matthew's all like hardcore. Like, you got to take the most hardcore protein isolates, huh? It's funny how I'm doing just fine with my non-isolate protein powder. It's convenient if you take a protein powder. This goes for vegans and meat eaters. Well, who says meat eaters and or vegans need a protein powder? Yeah, if you're athletic, you might want a protein powder. If you have protein absorption issues, you might want a protein powder. But I've never seen any information that says vegans, just regular old plain old vegans, need to take a protein powder, Matthew.
It's 8J. It's my 8-year veg anniversary today. Vegan for life.
Hey, Atomic Vegan, 8 years today. Awesome. I wish I wrote my day down and my vegan anniversary day down in a diary, Matthew. That's awesome. Cool. 8-year vegan anniversary. And I'm just kind of curious, Matthew, our Atomic Vegan, are you taking any protein powders? Because I just mentioned I was vegan for 8 years before I even took a single protein supplement. Okay, Matthew, just making sure I understand what you're saying there. Anyway, yeah, please show me that. Are you saying, though, Matthew, yes or no? I wanted to see yes or no from you, Matthew. Yes or no? Are you saying that vegans aren't getting... It's pretty hard or next to impossible for vegans who eat a balanced, sensible vegan diet to get sufficient protein? Just let me know if that's what you're saying, because that goes against research I've been reading. Because Matthew's saying if you're vegan, you got to take either eat a bunch of legumes or take a protein powder. Anyway, thanks so much for sharing that, Atomic Vegan. And thanks for being a longtime supporter of our channel too. I appreciate that. You know, yeah, I remember we thanked you on our Disneyland video a few months back. So Matthew, still, I see your point there, but still, let me know. Do you have any research that you can share with us that vegans eating a balanced, sensible diet are not getting sufficient protein so that they won't have some kind of protein deficiency, either a clinically detectable one or this magical subclinical one that Jenny Messina talks about? Just let me know if that's your opinion, that vegans pretty much can't do that. I mean, a few can, but for the most part, the vast majority of us, it's really hard or impossible. Is that your position, Matthew? Hey, Peter, thanks for the super chat tip there. Oh yeah, I told you guys, I'm skipping the gym. I made that post on Twitter a few days ago. Yeah, I haven't gone this week. I have no plans to go next week. I'm just going to take it on a week-by-week basis. Yeah, I have some close friends right now who weren't boosted, but had like 2 mRNA shots. They thought that's all they needed, and yeah, they're being laid out right now. So I'm taking some time off right now, but I'm still doing other stuff. I just did a heavy day of legs today out in the garage. You know, I'm still working out hard. Just, you know, taking a little. It's just cool to take some time off from basketball, let my body heal from all the playing. That's a lot of wear and tear on the body, and work on some other things. Get stronger in the posterior chain muscles. That's why I take all this freaking protein. If I weren't trying to get stronger, I wouldn't be taking all this protein. Let's see. How long have you been on? Like 2 hours and 12 minutes. Holy Moses. Hey, Angie, should we start that dinner?
I already did.
All right. How long ago?
I just heard it beep for the first time.
All right. So my live stream's going to end in about 20 odd minutes because before the live stream, Angie and I put together on our Instapot this meal, the Tuscan rice kale pilaf meal, the Tuscan kale pilaf meal from the Happy Healthy Vegan cookbook. Yeah, before the meal, we put all in the Instapot bowl thing and put all the ingredients in it. And I said, Angie, yeah, when it gets close to my live stream, just hit start. 21 odd minutes later, it'll be ready. So that's what we're having tonight. Okay, Matthew, so let me know how... I'm ignorant about protein, Matthew, because in my life, I don't sit there and calculate my protein with a protein calculator. I don't use Chronometer, Matthew. So Messina and I are highlighting, if some vegans ignorantly think the RDA for protein applies to them, this is wrong. Well, again, let me know, like, where is the information? I see what you're saying. I understand the point that you and Messina are making. And my question is now, show me the money, right? I have a right to ask that as a citizen and as a scientifically minded person. If this is your statement, your hypothesis, show me the evidence that vegans are simply somehow, if they're not being careful, like what you're saying here, some vegans ignorantly ignore the RDA, because I don't measure my protein on a daily basis. Even before my protein powders, after, I don't measure them. I'm ignorant in that sense, Matthew. So show me how us ignorant vegans who aren't monitoring their protein levels are somehow having a clinical or subclinical protein deficiency. That's what I'm asking you, Matthew. If you guys can't produce that, you really need to like back down on, to me, which is rhetoric. I need to see some information to actually take your position seriously, because according to her, it's subclinical. It cannot be measured through scientific methods. So please let me know, because I'll put myself in the ignorant category. I don't measure out my macronutrient intakes daily. I don't do it. Why, Matthew? Matthew might think I'm putting out some crazy idea here. No, it's because I eat a balanced, sensible vegan diet. I'm not excluding whole food groups like legumes, like a lot of raw people do. I eat a balanced, sensible, diverse array of plants, and that's it's really hard, as Dr. Garth Davis argued in Protein Hall, really hard if you're eating a balanced, sensible vegan diet to intentionally design one, let alone unintentionally, but even to intentionally construct a vegan diet that's deficient in protein. Hey, Giggles, wow, thank you so much for that really generous super chat tip there, Giggles. Wow, you guys are so generous tonight. You guys are so awesome. I guess we're not going to get pizza tonight, actually, because we prepared the kale peel-off, but we'll get one tomorrow night, guys, and thank you guys for it. So thank you, Googles. Take up a hobby, huh? Right, Jill? Okay, here, Matthew, here's my whole point about this subclinical that you and Jenny Messina are getting off. Subclinical means it has the potential to manifest if not addressed. Well, that's not, I understand what that means, but if you can't observe or measure it, to me, you're talking goobly-gook woo-woo almost. I mean, science is based on repeatable, observable phenomena. Would you not agree with that? And if there's no way to detect or measure these subclinical deficiencies of protein, I mean, what good is this talk? Why not just follow what, anyway, forget that. I've answered Matthew enough here. I'm so over this, like, obsession with protein here. I don't understand why. Let's see. Protein deficiency in some vegans has the potential to manifest if not addressed. Okay, Matthew, who's? I've known hundreds of vegans. None of them are protein deficient. The proof is in the pudding, Matthew. I mean, I should have had something probably in my 8 years before I ever had a single protein supplement. Something should have manifested rather than, doing an hour 46 half marathon. I mean, nothing happened. How long does this take? What tests can you take to measure these potential problems? And again, if these are problems that are common, like Matthew, I'm being serious here. If these protein deficiency issues are that common as you and Jenny seem to be asserting here, how come we're simply not seeing vegans with health problems that would be attributable to protein deficiency? Please explain that. She's talking about broken bones. I go out and slam dunk train on the basketball courts, jumping like a freak. I mean, this is crazy. I'm with you, Lauren Elizabeth. I'm more inclined that Matthew's just fallen into marketing protein hype. I'm not seeing the evidence that vegans are not getting enough protein. And we have to be so concerned because we might get this non-measurable, non-scientifically detectable protein deficiency. I know, Race, huh? Totally. Yeah, Matthew, I'm just talking about me. I'm not a scientist, Matthew. I'm free to share with all you guys my experiences, either my personal health experiences, my blood labs, and I'm also free to share with you. I know hundreds of vegans. A lot of them are online right now. And yet one has ever had some kind of lab reading or a doctor say, hey, you know what? We figured out, bro or gal, you're subclinically low in protein. Matthew, how come? Show me the money. How come we are not seeing this? I'm being really honest with you. If this were such a pervasive potential problem, how come I have yet to see a single case, a single instance of this potential problem actually happening in the real freaking world? Okay, what is Candor's spot going off on right now? AJ Vintage, I challenged Matthew to a battle on the basketball court against Ryan. No, let's not do that. That won't settle anything. You guys might be amused by that, but that's not going to settle any nutritional questions. And Matthew's, Jordan's joking, or who suggests that AJ's joking? AJ, also known as Atomic Vegan. Yeah, maybe Race. Matthew knows more about my blood than your white blood cells do, huh? Ron, I told you, I'm not a scientist. I am free to report my personal experience and share with you what I'm seeing. I'm saying if Messina and Matthew are correct, Ron, please tell me why we're not seeing vegans have these these health problems that are attributable to either a clinical or subclinical protein deficiency. If it's such a pervasive problem, Ron, I'm asking you, show me the money. Maybe do another metaphor for you. The proof is in the vegan pudding. Please show me the pudding that shows that we have vegans who are there should be a whole bunch. You know what I'm saying? If this were a real problem, we'd have millions, hundreds of thousands of vegans with these protein issues. Like, show me them. I want to see them. Am I being a dick? Ask Ron and Matthew. Let me know. Am I being a dick? Asking you for the evidence. I've seen what they say, and I have questions. I'm a fucking philosopher, okay? I'm not a registered dietitian. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm a freaking philosopher, and I have problems with what they say philosophically. If what they're saying has truth, and that's what philosophy is all about, determining the truth of arguments and assertions. If their statements are true, and I want to know, I'm not being a dick about it, I want to see the proof. Please show me how this pans out in the real world. And don't give me some BS. Well, it's subclinical and you can't measure. Well, for me, you might as well tell me there's leprechauns in my blood. So I'm asking you, I'm not being a dick. Why is it wrong for me to ask to see the evidence of these protein deficiencies that we're simply not, I'm not seeing in vegans? I'm not a medical doctor, but I tell you, so many vegans. How come I don't know anyone who says, man, I went to the doctor and they said I was protein deficient? Where? Please tell me how we can see this. And if one person has that problem, that still isn't proven. I'm just saying I haven't even seen one, let alone I should know dozens of people with this problem if Messina and Matt are right. If you're watching Messina, please show me. If you got the evidence, show me. I would love to have a look at it as a philosopher. Again, I'm not an RD, I'm not an MD, I'm a philosopher. I'm a PhD dropout. That's funny, Race. The leprechauns. I'm just saying, to me, it's like leprechauns. If you're telling me there's some protein deficiency that can't be measured by science, you might as well tell me there's leprechauns in my blood. To me, they're on the same level. They're on the same level, meaning there's zero way to confirm or disconfirm these assertions. Jordan Till, I want that shirt. I'm a fucking philosopher. Ryan, HHV 2022. So I'm waiting. I'm not seeing this. Ron's not answering me. Matthew's not answering me. You guys, because you have nothing you can show me, right? There's nothing you can show me about actual proof in the pudding. I want to see it. I'm like, people ask me, hey, Ryan, do you believe in aliens, outer space aliens? I go, I would love to. I think it sounds like a great idea, but I want to see them. Until then, I'm open. I'm alien open, agnostic, whatever you want to call it. But anyway, I just want to see it. Before I say, yeah, aliens, everyone, hear ye, aliens exist. Aliens from outer space are real. Before I say that, I want to see them. And before we take these opinions that there's millions of vegans running around with clinical or subclinical protein deficiencies, which may or may not be true, I don't know. Show me the evidence. Matthew, but you're assuming vegans are going to measure their daily caloric intakes or their daily macronutrient intakes. And I never have. I've been vegan 11 years, Matthew. I've never sat down one day and counted up how much protein I'm consuming. So if I'm not doing it, I'm nerdy, okay? I'm a geek, I'm a nerd. I like stuff like that. If I can't be bothered to do it, do you think 99% of vegans or most vegans are? No, obviously not. So expecting vegans to know how much protein they're getting compared to the recommended daily intake is pretty unreasonable. In fact, even for a non-vegan to track their protein intake, Matthew, that's what I'm getting at. So why put out a number out there that no vegan is really going to track? Maybe like 0.01% of vegans and non-vegans will track this. What we need to have is a real world explanation of how much protein a person needs. And as I've been saying from Dr. Garth's book, he's argued it's pretty much impossible to construct a balanced, sensible diet, vegan diet, where you're getting enough calories and enough diversity to have a diet that's deficient in protein. So how is that bad advice? People should be aware, but they're not, Matthew. Do you track your nutrients every day? If so, congratulations to you. You're special. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean, like how Vegan Gains calls people special. I mean, special in the sense, most people aren't going to add up their food intake for a day. If I can't be bothered, most people are not going to do that as well. Oh, thank you, Laura Mosley. I appreciate that. So if people want to call me dangerous and ignorant because I don't add up my nutrition every day, so be it, but that's true of like 99.999% of humanity. Am I wrong, guys? I mean, how many people really track their protein intake on any kind of regular or semi-regular basis? Yeah, maybe if you're a bodybuilder, hardcore nutrition geek, apart from those two categories of people, pretty much no one's going to do it. Vegans should track. Oh, why should vegans track, Matthew? How come it's incumbent upon vegans to do all this extra burdensome math, tracking calories, which is going to turn them off? People think, man, I would love to go vegan because I have these moral ethical beliefs about not harming animals, but it requires me, because of Matthew Kim and Jenny Messina's advice, to laboriously add up all my freaking macronutrients every day and see if I'm getting the RDI and then times it by 1 point. No one's going to freaking do it, Matthew. Why is it incumbent upon vegans to, how come vegans have to? Meat eaters eat crap diets too. How come meat eaters aren't required to track how much potassium and fiber they're not getting every day? Remember I said 90% of Americans are deficient in potassium and fiber. How come vegans must track their protein, but non-vegans get a free pass on being fiber and potassium deficient? Why is that? How come vegans are held, I say this all the time, why are vegans held to a higher standard than non-vegans? Please explain to me why we have to do all this laborious crappy math and your McDonald's eater can just be deficient in all this crap and no one's asking him or her to track stuff. Okay, so you think everyone should track, Matthew? At least I tip my hat to you on that for not being a dick about vegans having these extra burdens placed upon them. But bottom line is most people aren't going to track their stuff. If I can't be bothered, most people aren't going to be bothered. Oh, Laura, I didn't know Dr. Garth put you on a plant-based diet after gastric bypass surgery, and it's great. Laura, did Dr. Garth tell you to take protein supplements? Just curious, because Matthew's saying that, he probably should have, that you should take protein supplements. A medical doctor, ethical vegan Dr. Garth Davis tell you that you really got to take protein supplements because it's really hard as a vegan. You got to be careful. You're not going to get enough protein. Let me know if he said anything of the sort to you. Faux Turkey, yeah, look for part 3 and part 4. We'll probably get part 3 out in a few days or early next week of Angie's Animal Friends Rescuing the Feral Kitty part 3. Let's see, Jordan Taylor. I guess my 30-odd years as a professional athlete and coach and all the study I did isn't good enough. Daddy Matthew is schooling me on my nutritional needs. So Laura, you're saying Dr. Garth didn't tell you to take protein supplements because, as Matthew's saying here, Matthew, who I understand is probably not a medical doctor, is telling us to track our protein. Medical doctor, and remember, respect things. If you want me to respect Jenny for being an RD, you got to respect Garth for being an MD, Matthew. Dr. Garth didn't give any advice to Laura or anyone else I know that they got to track their protein because Jenny Messina said so. Matthew, I don't track my stuff, Matthew. I don't track my stuff. And I'm told you, by every objective measure imaginable, I'm healthy. Again, I'm anecdotal. Maybe I'm an outlier busting your statistics. I don't even know if you have statistics there to back that claim up, Matthew, but I'm saying I don't track jack. I haven't tracked jack shit ever, and I'm doing quite fine because I eat a balanced, sensible vegan diet, and I take a little extra protein because I want to make these gains here, So, so there goes that. Yeah, again, I'm one person, but again, you're bringing up this assertion here, and I'm just showing from my personal experience, I haven't had to track anything ever as a vegan to be healthy. I'm not saying don't track. Don't get me wrong. I don't want Matthew going on Twitter. Ryan Lum says never track your crap. I'm saying no, track them if you can be bothered. But that's a burden, right? It takes time. It's mathematics, going online, going on the calculators and stuff. I've tried it. I've tried to figure out what's in my smoothies. I've done it. I have it saved on Chronometer. It's a pain in the ass. It sucks. To imagine doing that on a regular basis, there's no freaking way. Race lever. Race lever. Do you track your stuff, race lever? Just curious. I mean, I'm just saying, I understand. I'm a case study of one here, but I'm sure there's plenty of other vegans who haven't tracked jack like race lever who can produce healthy results as well. Citizen journalist. Oh, you're back. I'm gonna be going soon, but no, I didn't see a Dr. Leo Venus's blood test. Let's see. Okay, so he had a few things below normal. All right, cool. That happens. Yeah, I'm sure you can find, vegans like myself that aren't low in most of that crap either. I'll share with you the link to my blood test video, citizen journalist. Let's see, if you're so into blood test videos, let's do it right now. I'll send you a link and you can go through mine. You know, my my B12 levels are like super freaking high. Explain that one. Yeah, I mean, all he has to do is take a supplement more. And I don't think, he probably doesn't take, I wasn't supplementing really to get my high B12 levels. Here's my B12, here's my blood test, have a look. So yeah, veganism is debunked because one guy didn't have perfect score. Is that it? What's Peter saying here? This one time I didn't track my protein and oil intake and my leg fell off on my way to the doctor to talk about my protein powder. I say you got to track all the time. Let's see, Heidi, you tracked on chronometer for like 6 months in the beginning days. Helpful, but tedious. That's what I'm saying. It's helpful. I'm not saying it's irrelevant or stupid to do, Matthew, in case you're going to go misquote me on Twitter. I'm just saying, who's going to want to do it? It's freaking tedious. Good to get an idea of where you're at. I agree with you 100%, Heidi. If someone wants to track their meals every day, as long as they can before they start wanting to like kill themselves or pull their hair out, go for it. I'm not knocking it one bit. Just want to make that perfectly clear. I'm not saying don't track your stuff. I'm just saying it's a pain in the ass and I can't be bothered. If I can't be bothered, most people can't be bothered. Oh, Matthew, your point of just tracking initially and after a few days you won't have to, that doesn't make any sense because we eat a wide diversity of foods and plants and meals here, Matthew. So just because I track for 3 days and know what's going on in those 3 meals doesn't know what's going on with my macronutrient intake for the rest of the week or month. You see what I'm saying? We eat a wide diversity of plants. So yeah, knowing what happens on a small sample of like a few days probably won't be too helpful for the other days. But I agree. Yeah, Matthew, do it. If someone wants to track for a few days, I'm not dissuading them. If someone wants to follow what Matthew's doing there, I'm cool with that. I'm totally cool with that. I'm just saying it might be hard to extrapolate from a few days because it's going to be all over the place. And if I'm eating a bunch of legumes on those 3 days, I might think I'm getting way more protein than I am on, all the time on the days I might not have any legumes. Oh yeah, thanks Uncle Walt. Whoever was asking about the t-shirts, yeah, the tie-dyes are true to size. Yeah, they're not they're maybe a little on the bigger side than the tight side. They're not like this stylish fit tight kind of cut. They're a little more loose and all. But yeah, that's the best way to describe them. They're true to size, but maybe tend to be a little more open in the middle. Let's see. DEXA scan. Is that the calcium scan? Is that what you're asking? I might get one. I'm going to go to a vegan cardiologist if she recommends it's worth the radiation risk. But there's probably better things. I've been chatting with a few cardiologists online, and they don't seem to place too much stock in that. ApoB test seems to be have a better stock as far as like being able to predict heart disease. Oh, body composition scan. No, I've never done that, Ben. I don't even know where to get one at. If you want to pay for one, I might consider it. Let's see. So Argento Nomad says, uses chronometer quite often, and the least of my concerns is protein. On a low day, I eat close to 90 grams without any supplements or protein shakes. You hear that, Matthew? Here's someone who does track or use chronometer often, and 90 grams is easy. So it just shows that's, decent amount of protein, since the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine said an average sized man about 54 grams. This is 90 grams without even doing anything. Hey Johnny, a gallon of orange juice every day. That sounds quite crazy. Okay, so I want to make it absolutely clear, though, that Matthew and Ron have they have neither presented any information that I've been able to see that there's studies supporting, I said, show me the money, that there's a bunch of vegans walk around, hundreds of thousands or millions of vegans walk around with protein deficiency, either on a clinical or subclinical level. I've still yet to see that. So I just want to make that painfully clear. And I'm not blaming them, because I've asked nutrition Twitter people to produce this as well, and no one has ever shown that to me. If anyone has it, I'm all eyes or ears, whatever you want to say, but I'll look at it. I just want to make it painfully clear, though. I said, show me the money. Proof is in the pudding. I haven't seen the money or the pudding yet. I just hear the assertions. And for me, assertions are weak. As a philosopher, assertions suck. You need to have support to your assertions. So anyway, guys, I'll take a couple more questions and I'm going to go. I've been on 2 hours and 36 minutes. Dinner, I think, is about ready. So if we have a few more questions that don't involve trolling me, I will answer them. Yeah, I want to see the pudding too, Jordan, the vegan pudding. Jesse 12-string, yeah, that's what they're saying. So yeah, that's what that citizen journalist person's saying. So you can't be vegan unless your blood work is perfect. Again, remember I said earlier, why are vegans held to this higher standard than your average population? If someone eats at McDonald's every day, no one asks to see their blood work, but if you're vegan, they feel like it's we owe it to the world to share our blood work, and if it's not perfect, then then veganism is bad. No, Messina has said vegans have a subclinical protein deficiency. I've seen her say this many times. I have. I want me to find the tweets, Matthew. I'll go back and find them if you want me to show them to you for next week, that there's a subclinical protein deficiency. You're asking for something we have not declared. No, that's what she said. She said subclinical protein deficiency. And for me, that sounds very unscientific, because if it's subclinical, to me, that sounds like gobbledygook jargon for saying it can't be detected or measured in any way. Prove me wrong. But anyway, I want to see some science saying that most vegans. Here's the thing. If it's such an issue, Matthew and Messina, if you're watching, we should have some clinical evidence of vegans suffering from these clinical or subclinical protein deficiencies. That's what I'm asking for. And if you think I'm being a dick, that's on you. But I would love to see research, objective evidence suggesting as much. That's it. I'm just being a dick because I don't think it exists. But you can't blame me for wanting to see something like that, since that's the logical conclusion of your assertions. Right? Am I wrong? I mean, again, I'm thinking as a philosopher. You're asserting one thing, so I'm going, okay, if what they're asserting is true, here's what should logically follow. And it should logically follow that we should have some kind of objective evidence of these clinical or subclinical protein deficiencies in vegan. That's what I would love to see. And until then, it's going to be hard for me to take your position all that seriously. I'm not saying I'm rejecting it, but to expect me to jump into your camp and say bye-bye Dr. Garth Davis and all the evidence that he's shown to argue his point, it's going to take a lot to make me jump ship. That's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to be a dick or anything. I'm going to track people who are dicks. Oh, God, that's funny. I'm going to hit show on that one, Jill. All right. Oh, that's funny, Uncle Walt. New shirt idea there for me. Jana is asking tough questions. I haven't seen Jana for a bit here. Okay, I see what Jana's asking there. Let's see, Peter, you said you had a dietetics professor make you drop the class because you wouldn't sign off on the idea that milk is necessary for bone health. Messina reminds me of her. Yeah, if someone's being kind of dogmatic about either milk for bone health or protein for vegan health or what have you, without really bringing the evidence. That's what I'm saying. Bring the evidence. Bring your big guns evidence. Let me see what you got. I don't know too much about Dr. Sebi Devian. Is he promote like raw food diets and stuff like that? If so, I can't get behind that. Maybe he's a good dude and all. I don't really know much about him, but yeah, anyone kind of promoting raw food, I'm not like with that. Yeah, show me the evidence, Uncle Walt. Again, is that unreasonable for me to ask? I think anyone who, seriously, and all my boisterousness aside, I think anyone who is true to science would not fault me for asking for the evidence, right? I mean, that's what science is all about. It's about separating untestable and or unproven claims and trying to separate that from things that we can know, things that are repeatable. That's how we progress in science. So it's cool to have assertions and hypotheses, as I wondered about Messina and unnatural vegan, high protein diet with low activity, kind of making them sort of not have the greatest figures. Again, not being a dick. I'm just making a hypothesis. I wish we could test that, you know? Anyway. The protein deficiency support in the hospital. Yeah, you're never going to see that. Yeah. Yeah. Jesse Troubleshooting, yeah, it's just a reasonable thing. Show us the evidence. Show us the science. You can make the argument. That's what Matthew and Ginny don't understand. They're making the argument. It's based on research, so they're making the argument. Yeah, here, I know the argument. Yeah. Let me just make it really quick. Is it ready, babe? I'm going to make the argument for them really quickly. Yeah. Plant-based proteins are less bioavailable than animal proteins. Therefore, the recommended daily intakes that our government agencies give us aren't sufficient for vegans. They need to be upped to account for that bioavailability issue. And the conclusion is that if you're not doing that, as most vegans, they assume are not, then you're probably going to have some subclinical or clinical protein deficiency. So my logical response is, let me see the evidence of that there's all these vegans with all these clinical or subclinical protein deficiencies. That's all I'm asking for. Yeah, Peter, I agree with you. Yeah, qualia kashor, whatever that thing's called. Yeah, people with protein deficiencies, that's just a lack of eating deficiency, not getting enough nutrition. Yeah, they're not getting enough protein, and they're not getting enough fat, and they're not getting enough carbohydrates, they're not getting enough vitamins and nutrients, minerals. Yeah, it's... Mm-hmm. Yeah, here's the thing. Say plant proteins are indeed less bioavailable. Let me just put this out here. Here's a question that Matthew and Jenny Messina need to address. Let's assume that's right, okay, that plant proteins are a little bit less bioavailable. Does that mean that when a vegan consumes a balanced, sensible vegan diet with sufficient, proteins mixed in like I do, does that still mean, even with the reduced bioavailability compared to animal proteins, which is irrelevant for me because that's just poop, that's not food, does that still mean I'm not getting enough protein to, satisfy what my body needs and all that stuff? That's the $20,000 question there. And if that were true, we should have some clinical evidence suggesting that. And I would just love to see it. Again, I'm not denying it doesn't exist, but it has yet to cross my eyes. Cool. I just broken down that argument, Mumbles. I tried again when I restated the argument. As always, I try to be as sincere to it as possible. I don't want to misstate it. My whole goal is to try to understand these arguments that I disagree with, state it even more clearly than they would state it, the opponents would state it, to make sure I understand it better than they do, or not better than they do, just make sure I say it as well as I can, so that when I respond to it, I'm responding to their argument, not some straw man argument. Anyway, all right, guys, I'm gonna go have dinner with my beautiful wife, Angie. So I want to thank everyone for another lively one tonight, another lively discussion. Friday night's kind of turned into that. I went on Wednesday, and it was more chill than this, but I think people know Fridays when they bring everything against veganism for us all to see. Hey, Groovy Lisa, I'm going to get going right now, Groovy Lisa, but you can watch this on playback. But I want to thank everyone, Uncle Walt. Hey, Tracy, I'm going right now too, Tracy. I've been on 2 hours and 45 minutes, and we've had a lot of lively discussions tonight about veganism and plant protein and who's the better vegan doctor, nutritionist out there, Jeannie Messina, Dr. Garth Davis, and stuff like that. So it's been a lot of fun. But I gotta go. I'm glad I had my energy. Remember last Friday I was pretty tired. I was hoping I wasn't getting sick or anything. I just think I was just a little tired. So anyway, I'm all good today. 2 hours, 45 minutes. I could still keep going, but I feel like I should go join forces back with my wife and see what, I know what we're making for dinner. I'm just gonna go have it. So yeah, thanks Race. Thanks Tracy for popping on at the very end here, and Uncle Wall, and everyone who contributed here, all the vegans and even the non and anti-vegans for discussing everything here tonight. So I'll be back next Friday, as usual, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time with another live stream. And if you're anti-vegan and watching this now or after the fact, bring your best argument. Show us all next week why veganism is debunked and null and void. And I promise to keep an open mind and ear and listen to your argument, if you have one, and respond to it. And if you're a vegan, come back next week. If you just had some questions I wasn't getting to tonight because I was getting involved in other stuff, this is what it's for. It's a place to ask questions of an actual vegan, not a medical doctor, just an 11-year vegan who's trained in philosophy and athletic, and will do my best to help you with any questions you might have. And let's see. And yeah, provide just a nice, safe space for us to hang out and have a chill vegan community without people attacking us, hopefully. So anyway, but Race everyone's anti-vegans will stub their toes, but they can come back though. Well, thanks everyone. Thanks all the viewers, all the moderators. Yeah, stay tuned next week. We should have a couple new videos. Tiny Baby Kitty Part 3. Peter showed me another why I'm no longer vegan video that didn't get much response, so I'm going to take a look at that, and if it's worth it, I'll respond to that as well. So yeah, we should have several videos coming out next week, guys. So I guess that's it. So until then, let's stay happy, healthy, and vegan.